Okay, we gonna take it like this, nigga. Hold on for a minute.
You're about to hear some strong language. And if strong language is not what you want to hear, please pick your ass up and turn the channel. You know what I mean? We're getting ready to get into a thing up here.
Y'all ain't fucking with me. It's the King DJ Woogie Spider-O. Global warning.
I don't give a damn. I'm greedy, grew from nothing to a something due to the evil I do. Ask my people from Peru, like Spike Lee, SPI. Try to do the right thing, but my nuts heavy. Ain't no telling when they might swing. Gonna duck when they do though. That M numero uno, or put a hole in your culo. Shitty than menudo. 2, 2, 2, 3s, they both bigger than Pluto. Clips fatter than sumo wrestlers. I'm a specialist. Don't let them fool y'all. I also impress the haters. Get higher than escalators. Lie to investigators. Collapsed his lungs. He relying on a respirator. Leaning my main squeeze. Please underestimate her. I hit the battleground. My cowboy settled down. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat, that's how they gotta sound. My closet got all shades and colors.
Kept secret.
Street
Better get Spider-O.
4 5s, 22.
Come on.
I got a bad bitch. She look like she 22, but she 36, 24, 20. South Central Los Angeles with the Crips and the Bloods. Bang, bang to the boogie. My nigga Woogie, do your thug thing. It's the unit, that's how the drama in the club came. Same old song, make them listen to the slug sing. From the slums where they shoot dice and drug slang and squabble in the street. Got a real cold glove game. I stay pissing in public.
I don't give a damn.
I shouldn't think nothing of it. I don't give
Get back.
I smoke weed cause I love it. I don't give a damn. You understand, motherfucker? I don't give a damn. I do it all for the money. I don't give a damn.
It's
I
the
never
unit.
fall for the funnies. I don't give a damn. You can't get nothing from me. I don't give a damn. Is you listening, dummy? I don't give a damn. It go any, mini, miny, mo. Guess I use that shiny fold. Full mag, body bag. Tag him on his tiny toe. All the bastards, first street to 190, no. Spider been a ride. I got the whole hood behind me, ho. A million rhymes in my mind, but I play slow jam. Like Cam, hitting watts is my everyday program. I'm in them South Central streets, I'm in the CPT. But I done told y'all before, fool, this ECG.
Mixtape.
Pop pizzles and stay awake until the drizzle drop. I stop the problems off the top when the pistol pop. It's popping with the copper, so them copper tops in my Berettas. I smoke the best weed, I really got a fire fetish. I understand it's more expensive by the gram, but I burn it with my fam bam, I don't give a damn. I drink cognac, love the twisted sparking lot. Don't care if it's drunk or not, pissing in the parking lot. I stay pissing in public, I don't give a damn. I shouldn't think nothing of it, I don't give a damn. I smoke weed cause
Don't forget that MySpace / Spider-O.
Motherfucker, I don't give a damn. I do it all for the money, I don't give a damn.
Y'all know what the drama
I
is.
never fall for the funnies, I don't give a damn. You can't get nothing.
Can't forget my
from
nigga
me.
Lloyd Banks.
I don't give a damn.
Young
Is you
Buck, what up?
listening, dummy? I don't give a damn.
Come on.
He is on,
S.P.I.
known to be so bang-a-docious.
Yes, he high.
They idolize my tight side.
You seen him struggling.
I done fucked around and went up and down.
Now watch him shine.
The coldest hoes, the coldest rolls. They ain't know if it'll happen or not. SPI be rapping a lot, but he stay with a strap in the spot, and he scrap and he cap when he hot. He don't listen to no advice. He got that flow and he know it's nice. Turned down signing more than twice. Stuck to grind and he know his price. Met him a nigga that understood. He the perfect poet that run the hood. Gave him a chance to all he could. Off my advance, I could ball for good. All that leather and all that wood, sitting on top of all that chrome. Gear to the streets, all I should and appreciate. All that dog.
S.P.I.
Known to be so bang-a-docious.
Yes, he high.
They idolize my tight side.
You seen him struggling.
I done fucked around and went up and down.
Now watch him shine.
The coldest hoes, the coldest rolls. From the top to the bottom, back to the top. SP too active to stop. Just listen to the facts that that I drop, on top of the tracks that I chop. I don't choose to lose, nah partner, you's confused. I share the views of fools to get tools and fuse, using tools. Draped in the hues Jews, now my music amusing Jews. I can't lose the news, paparazzi, jacuzzi pools. Words spit like a Uzi ooze, save wearing pink for them Susie Q's. I'm not like you bougie dudes, the shit I say is usually rude.
S.P.I.
Known to be so bang-a-docious.
Yes, he high.
They idolize my tight side.
You seen him struggling.
I done fucked around and went up and down.
Now watch him shine.
The coldest hoes, the coldest roll.
S.P.I.
Known to be so bang-a-docious.
Yes, he high.
They idolize my tight side.
You seen him struggling.
I done fucked around and went up and down.
Now watch him shine.
The coldest hoes, the coldest rolls. Stupid, he a retard. Spot a low got A's on his G card. Bigfoot go hard with no regard. He like me, he did time on a 3-yard. I'm stuck on scrapes, I pipe rezats. In the projects with scrap pipe and D-Mac. Colombo black in the back of the Maybach. Kill the track and push crack with payback. They stole my foes, I came back on 6s. That's the way I rose, Baymac on bitches. I'm in a 5-star with 2 king double beds. With 2 bad bitches doing the bobblehead. They stuck on the fact I still got Chucks on. Gone on the size of the rims that my truck on. Get my fuck on, let them suck on something. Let Buck bone and get the fuck on. Got a deal, but feel I need $1 million bill to borrow. That's on the real, just until tomorrow. He say, she say, BKCK. Groove on my C-Day, holla at a keyway. I got weight on me, the game won't wait on me. I'm on a plane with a whole gang of weight on me. When I was young, we played pick a team catch. Now I'm spending money on a nicotine patch. Don't front, the flow is getting comfortable. I know I'm the one you really ain't want to blow. I'm the shit, give counterfeits fit. I'm legit and I'ma get what I come to get. You just wanna shine, you don't wanna grind. It's beautiful on mine, you the one that's blind. And I ain't the one to open your eyelids. Quit lying, you ain't poking his eyelids.
$1, never touch Uno, he about his Prada. I stay up for the dough, can't lay up with a hoe. No, 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 no. It's quick moves like a quarterback sneak. The whole team listen when the quarterback speak. He knows by the low, Baymac on the road, making major dough. Point blank, do no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done train my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be. Yeah.
Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
Neighborhood, C-Mac, shout out my loc, Spotter Low, cuz. Neighborhood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, crib.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's
The
mama.
homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch.
My name is Spider Low.
Spider Loke, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Low, that's my nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
You are now in the black box with the homie Spider Low, the most eastiest. Facts over feelings, keeping it a Google Plex. Feel my campaign.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing his.
Google gang, straight legend. Google gang, SBI. Google gang, Google gang in here. You better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
Bottom line, love life, show us a blessing. Pull up politic and blow us a session. Spot a local most easty. No mistake in the station. They making them statements. We waking and baking. Word of the day, EC on replay. The marijuana-thon with VJ Keyway. BS and BS. Killing on the track in the black box. We never put feelings over facts. Bay Machiavelli, run me the bread. I don't get mad, I get money instead. I be high, you can tell by a nigga eyes. But wise enough to enterprise, you dig a lies. Contemplating with the Google gang, conversating. Counting coins while these cowards in the comments hating. Only thing count, my count getting another comma. I'm a magnet to the money on my mother mama.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google,
If you can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and dropped the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google, the only way. Mention me, I come out and play, that's on the gang. We're not the same, I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards, we all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies, facts over feelings. We ain't gon' start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google gang.
Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. This show is a blessing to be right back in the black box and blow a succession on my mama. It blows my mind sometime how the word of the day coincides with the subject matter. You would think I would go and match these words up intentionally. However, it is a random algorithm from Merriam-Webster's dictionary that gives me these words of the day. And I find it real ironic. First, before I get into that, shout out to my boy Willie North Pole in the chat. It's been a long time. Welcome to the Blue Wrench Mob. His name is William Adams in the chat. We done traveled the country together, performed together, did big shows, dub shows, the biggest I can recall out here at the convention center. We done did records together. Salute to Willie N, Dub N in this thing, man. Good to see you in this thing. Much love. But the word of the day, y'all ain't gonna believe this, y'all. Y'all see the title, Tory Lanez went down. That's some bullshit. I'm gonna say that. But on my mama, speculate is the word of the day. I am convinced, and have been for a long time, the court system is rigged in the sense that we're told that you have to be able to prove beyond a shadow doubt that someone is guilty. However, I think the burden is less than proof, and it's more of convincing the jury that is required, whether you actually prove it. And I believe convincing the jury and proving something to the jury or to the court is two different things. I think the person at trial can either be at an advantage or disadvantage by the fact that the jury, although they make the most important decisions in the court lots of times, they are the only ones involved in that process that have very little education when it comes to the law, the legal process, and the way things go. So a lot of times it's not the side that can prove, it's the side that can convince. And I think a lot of speculation was utilized. But what it means, speculate, in general context, speculate means to form ideas or theories about something, usually when there are many things not known about it. In context relating to business or finance, it means to invest money in ways that could produce a large profit, but that also involve a lot of risk. Scientists speculate that the newly discovered exoplanet could contain liquid water. Their research explores the implications of so many people speculating on the stock market in the years leading up to the Great Depression. Speculate. What y'all think about speculation? I did not follow the trial extremely close. However, two of my favorite bloggers, Alex Alonso and Nick at Night, did cover it quite extensively. And I kind of kept up. They gave almost minute-to-minute updates on what was going on. And, you know, vaguely from, I don't believe too many people in the public have a better idea than me of the type of evidence that was submitted and basically, you know, the way the court proceeding went. And sticking to my theory that you don't have a responsibility to prove anything beyond a shadow of a doubt. Rather, you have the burden of convincing the jury. I truly believe that cuz got railroaded and happened to be in Hollywood's backyard. And the way that, you know, if you just look at high profile, you compare him to her, and you go all the way back to Chris Brown and Rihanna and the protectiveness of females in general, which is hard to hate when you are protective of females yourself. I just don't know what amount
of evidence could have caused them to come to a guilty verdict. If you checked out all the bloggers leading up to this point, even those that were in favor, desirous of a guilty verdict, seemingly thought while the deliberations was going on that there was going to be a not guilty, not because they didn't believe he was guilty, but the majority of them felt like the prosecution didn't put on a good enough case to get a guilty verdict. So I wonder, if some of those bloggers would have been in the jury, we had a different situation. Something else I find extremely interesting is there was a question about whether or not the jury was able to be unbiased. And I heard a lawyer giving a presentation on this, and he was talking about the extent that they went to make sure they vetted the jury, to make sure it wasn't people who were already personally invested in any of these celebrities, really didn't know much about, their implications to the public and all that. And he was trying to say that in the sense that was going to be a positive thing because, these people are going to be able to sit back and be objective about it. But it put another thought on my mind. We are told that in this court process, when you're facing allegations or charges, your jury should be developed of your peers. So I wonder, how are these people considered his peers if they are not even aware of his existence, none of his implications? And I wonder if that's going to be a ground on appeals that they can approach. I want to suggest that if you notice, we got the number up early today. We don't typically do that. It's because I'm interested in what y'all got to say off top. This is a discussion topic. I personally can only say so much about the case. You digitalize. I wonder if people like Bun B, T.I., those who spoke up publicly trying to call Tory Lanez the task immediately upon the announcement that he allegedly was involved in this and she claimed he had got down on her, right? They came out and was getting on Cuz' head. Can you imagine them right now being a celebratory or applauding the fact that this man got found guilty? Anybody in the chat that can give me the piece of evidence that they're aware of, what they heard, what they think hung him. I cannot, if you think about the most damning evidence, I believe what had to be considered is that they have a text message of him or a recorded, I don't know what made him do this, but I'm apparently from the substation, he got on the phone and was calling a girl apologizing. They said he never verbalized that he shot a weapon, but he apologized. And then I believe there was a text message called into question where he was apologetic as well. And I just think that the burden of proof was not met, and it leaves us open and vulnerable for someone to be able to just say anything. I can recall years ago when my only had one child at the time, my youngest daughter, she had to be like 2 years old. And I may have had two. Genesis may have been like in Pampers, tiny, right? And I remember one day I was watering the grass, and if I wasn't watering the grass, I was at the house, and a mama got at me and got wild, in defense of myself, I sprayed her with the water hose. So. Or no, maybe I didn't spray her with the water hose, but something happened to the point where we had like a tussle that she initiated. All I did was, only reason I touched her was because she was coming my way. I wasn't going on offense. And I could recall later on watering the grass. And when I'm watering the grass, the sheriff pull up. And then they tell me, damn, we coming to arrest you for domestic violence. She say, you hit her. I'm like, what? So my mother happened to be there, witnessed the whole thing. And she like, he didn't hit her, da-da-da-da-da-da. My across the street neighbor, rest in peace, Smitty, he saw everything, and he said that she was lying. And the officer still said, hey, bro, I believe you. He said, but the way the law worked, just based on her claim, I got to take you. I'm like, what? And at this point, I was aware that she was down the street parked watching. And I'm like, man, if that's, I said, so you telling me you got to take me to jail just because she said I hit her? He was like, yep. I said, even though I got 2 witnesses that said that it's not true. He was like, yeah. I said, well, fuck that then. I wasn't going to say nothing, but she hit me first. I want her to go to jail. He was like, all right, well, y'all both going to have to go. Let me walk down here and inform her that y'all both going to have to go to jail. So when he walked down there and told her that, she was like, she didn't want to press no more charges. So I say that to say, you don't, bro, all we got is her saying he did it. I think he messed up by not taking the stand, bro. I know they always act like that don't weigh against you in court, but remember, they not necessarily going by the rules in court because the rules are proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. I think he would have been better off having a direct trial with just the judge, a legal expert. Because I know often judges sit there and get a jury's verdict and they realize, the jury was convinced. However, from my expertise when handling cases, the prosecution did not prove their case. And although I was not in the courtroom, not even a fly on the wall, I am pretty much aware of the majority of the reports based upon the evidence that was presented, the majority of the testimony that was given. And from my perspective, cuz got a raw deal and he got action on the appeal. Oh my mama, just due to the fact that there was another person on the scene who had gun residue on their hand. How is that not reasonable doubt? I heard reports of one witness declaring that they saw him discharge the gun, but they also said they saw a female discharging a weapon. How is that not reasonable doubt? These prosecutors take advantage of these jurors not being experts at the law like the opposite lawyer and the judge. It's the same way the prosecution was definitely not going to go to trial if they didn't have to without T.I.'s testimony in Hosea Thomas's trial, because whether they were going to prove that Hosea Thomas was guilty or not, the prosecution knew, they were convinced that T.I.'s testimony would help convince the jury that dude was guilty. Oh my mama. I don't even get caught up in this phrase often, but I gotta say free Tory Lanez. Oh my mama. I don't believe it went the way they say it went. But on the side that's, kind of gossipy or that kind of like speaks to how it happened, can you imagine how cuz got to be feeling right now knowing all this over pussy? And then if the story carries correct, cuz told on himself, this why all this little friction, and he's so feeling himself. He knocking this down, knocking that down. He got action to go knock down apparently where they was going. That Kardashian curse got him, cuz look how many years when it boiled down, the Kardashian curse. He take lightly. He got 2 Nubian partners, and he in between them doing this thing. And for some reason, that was not enough. He had to expose, if we gonna believe what they say. He himself. Oh my mama, you never let your left hand know what your right hand know. And someone who also, just look at it, cuz if you want to go with the evidence and the concept or idea of presenting a reasonable doubt, there is someone else on the scene that was involved in the triangle that got gunshot residue on their hands, and they chose to plead the fifth. Do you know pleading the fifth is an option you take against self-incrimination? So, if the defense's only duty is to present reasonable doubt, if you have another person on the scene with gun residue who apparently got into a physical altercation with the victim, who had tension over, who ain't been getting along ever since, How is that not at least reasonable doubt? And she pled the fifth. She didn't want to speak about that night on the stand because she didn't want to risk incriminating herself. Immunity is for... Think about it, y'all. That's not enough evidence to convict nobody. 214 area code. What's your thoughts on the fact that he got caught and eventually broke off in the court? He came up short. Oh, my mama, mom. I think it's fucked up. What's your thoughts?
That's the guy with it though.
It's the deal. Who that?
Hey, it's the deal. Young Sweets, Hollywood.
What it do, Holly? Sweets, what's up, my
How
nigga?
you doing, my nigga?
Oh, blessed in yourself, man. Just can't believe it. They let this one get away like that on a young man.
Man, I could believe it. I could believe it, man. Look, man, I got something for your listeners, man. And I've been thinking about this for a long time, ever since I heard, ever since this even broke in the news. I already knew off top he was going. I think you probably did too. You know what I mean? Look, man, that story you just said, right? And you was like, all right, both of y'all going. Somebody gonna go. You already know they agencies, police is they're agencies. They're not there for the law. Right. They're not there to protect, to serve, to do nothing. They just there to make sure that they get paid out some way. You ever go to jail? You ever see them red and blue lights behind you? It's money involved. At the end of all of it, it's all money. And I knew he was going to go just for the fact that she was able to put her. Once she put him in that twist like that. As soon as I heard about the case, I said, "Yeah, he's done." You know what I mean? And it's a plot, man. I'm gonna even go deeper on you, Sparta. It's a plot, man. They want us out of here. They trying to do whatever they can to get the black man up out of here. Whether it's the gay community, whether it's women, if it's gender wars going on that that a lot of us don't even participate in, but supposedly we hate black women, they hate black men. All of that, man, plays a factor in all of this, man.
I agree.
Jury of what peers?
Yeah, that's the part that threw me off.
What peers?
They went out their way. They went out their way to explain that these people were handpicked to the extent and degree that they believed they had no awareness of these two individuals for the most part before this case. So when they try to make that be the argument as to why these people can be unbiased, I wonder how was he served by a jury of his peers? I mean, if it was going to be your peers, that means it's somebody that should be generally aware of what you represent to the public. That would be a peer.
Yeah, you would think so. Like, if the world was all perfect, that means that, me and you, we inactive gangbangers now, right?
Right.
But our peers, that would be like how, niggas decide if you're going to get DP'd or not. You know what I mean?
Right,
Even though I ain't never been DT'd in my life.
Me either.
But those would be a jury of my peers.
Correct.
These are just people that they just summons to jury.
Or
that ain't my peer.
It would be people in our community that may resemble our aunties, uncles, teachers, brothers, and cousins.
Yeah.
Might not even have taken the same path in life, but they're familiar with individuals who have. It's why we tend to think the concept of community policing is better, because if someone that looks like you shows up to the scene and it's a tense scene, their sense of preservation of life is greater when they don't look like you.
Exactly. But you already know, like you just said, it was a think about what you said, Alden. Hollywood's backyard. You already know that ain't us. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You like it don't take a rocket scientist to know. And this is what I was just talking to my homeboy about, right? He had paid lawyers that couldn't get him off of that. Because you know why? He was already guilty before he even
That's
got
what I'm saying. I believe the paid lawyers did they shit. They did they shit. Yeah. But just think about it, bro. The most important decision to be made was made by the individuals. All 12 of the jurors combined has less expertise than the two lawyers and the judge. They are the least professional. They're the least educated at law. So it's basically about who had the coldest persuasion over the jurors. The jurors, I don't believe that they sat there and went through a criteria of what proof is and then judged the evidence against proof. I think it was more of a mental, emotional feeling of, hey, I believe. And I know I'm right to the point that so often, you know how jurors, they serve on high profile cases, and then after the case, they get an opportunity to be interviewed. I wait.
Write books and that.
Yes, I always listen, and the jurors always talk about what convinced them. They never speak of the evidence that pinned the fucking suspect in. They always talk about why they believed or what convinced them that they were guilty. We got somebody else on the line with us, Sweet. You ain't got to go nowhere. He local too. 424. What's happening?
I was cracking, my nigga.
You got it?
Oh, yeah. You know they always gonna throw the book at the black man. You already they gonna take us cages away like the animals they think we is. You feel me?
Oh, God.
They ain't gonna never give us a chance, you know, like you were saying, like, you know, your peers should judge you, but you know how they do it. They gonna give you somebody that they know ain't gonna understand you, you know, that say that portray like they went this straight and narrow. But from the jump, you know they got a grudge against the black man. From the jump, you already know the negativity that we gotta live through, the negativity that we was raised in, that's out here in these streets. They not gonna hear that. You feel me? You know, once we walk out the door, it's somebody with the objective trying to get us, whether it's the cops or niggas in the street. But at the same time, you gotta give it to God. And only God got the last say so. You feel me?
You're right.
So you know,
I think he got action.
He got to get his people to try to get him out of there.
What do you think his?
Hey, let me chime in on.
What y'all think? What y'all think his experience is gonna be out here in this California system?
Oh, you already know. That's fighting boxing. You already know blue ball and all that. You know, people trying to. They gonna try to.
You know,
yeah, they're gonna try to rob him. They're gonna try to distort him. You know, he's off. I mean,
no,
he gotta do them push-ups.
You know that nigga only like 4'11", right?
That's what. Hey, look. Hey, bro. He gonna have to be super PC'd up.
Yeah, he done it. And look, that's the thing. Look, man, and your boy that just called, right? Like, I want to chime in on what you just said, dog. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. The system is set up, especially in California, because of all the shit that we've done all through the years, man, and how we start getting the football numbers, the lottery numbers, like Spider saying that one song, like it's already set up for us to fail. I mean,
and you know, in the California system, they ever since OJ, niggas been knowing.
Yeah.
Don't come in here with no domestic. And then the fact that Chris Brown, and then he high profile, he don't even understand how he hung himself. What you think about the fact, cuz, that he brought all this upon himself by trying to let these bros know he was knocking both of them down?
Let's see. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Look, Spider, I'm going to tell you, not just that, right? All he had to do was shut up. He was already found guilty. He was already found guilty in the social media court. You know what I mean? Social media court. Like the high profile of this case, if he would have just shut up. Look, when they tell you, you got the right to remain silent, whatever you say can and will be used against you. They mean it. And it don't mean just because you're in custody. Shut up. He would have been all right if he would have just shut up and let his lawyers talk. Silence speak volumes.
Hey, Sweets, look what she just said. Look what this the feds.
Social media is a wonderful tool for prosecutors in every indictment we bring nowadays.
Huh? Man.
You already know we got that Rico jumping on.
I ain't nothing like you fucking rap niggas.
That's crazy, bro.
I know gang patrol creeping. You know, they just taking niggas that they don't even need a case to Rico you nowadays.
You dudes telling niggas,
You know what else I think?
Tell your audience, man.
You know what else I think?
Whoever listening.
Like you say, he should have shut up. But the fact that he hadn't shut up in the beginning, I think he shut up at the wrong time. Nigga, you should have been in that court with a mouthpiece, nigga. Can't nobody speak for you like you can speak for yourself. And if you that slick that you think you can pop off and tell two bras what's happening and it cause all that, and then you can start sending messages and text to apologize, and you so slick, you come into court with your dress shoes and no socks bringing your son, you should have been slick enough to get up there and pop your shit, nigga. You should have been getting up there to tell your own story.
Because you're fighting for your life.
Fighting for your life.
He's looking at what a twomp. He's looking at like twomp, like 20 years.
It's
right?
He's
looking at like 20 years.
Yep.
I'd have been up there talking like I would have been Brian Gumble on that.
Just
stand.
think.
You know,
just think. He made it to fame and stardom with his mouthpiece. Nigga, in the end, I'm gonna bank on that. When they stacking it and I was there and I got gun residue. You know what? I think that's what did it too, cause that gun residue on Cuz hand. I don't know. What you think, Sweets?
Yeah. Hey, Spider, he wouldn't. Even if he, I believe, in my opinion, even if he would have took the stand, I honestly believe he was already convicted in social media court. It was already a done data. See, that's why I said he could have just shut up and let people talk all day. You know, like, I think he got action on the appeal, when social media get a hold of it, everybody got an opinion. Now you got to deal with and you got picked as a juror on that case, and you already know that most people are saying that you're guilty. That's not a fair shake, man. You know what I mean? But if he would have shut his mouth and not said nothing at all, then they would have had more to prove, like she said.
So what is it that he said that you're thinking caused him so much problem? What did he say? I'm not aware.
Well, it wasn't what he said. He said a lot. He's like, you're supposed to go zero, what they call it, radio zero silence or zero down, whatever they call it. Like, you're supposed to like disappear.
That's for somebody. That's for somebody that's guilty. And somebody that's in the game on some shit. When you get caught up in certain shit like this,
high profile. On your social media though, Spider. I'm talking about like on your Instagram, he was constantly talking about it.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? And
that makes sense.
In the public, like in the public eye.
That makes sense.
Man, he should be telling that girl sorry. That nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga should be.
Yeah, first of all,
hey, but look though, let's think about this though. What Spider said in the very beginning though. Think about this. Why would you put it out there that you knocking both of these balls down at the same time?
Right.
Let's start there. So we should be surprised that he put stuff in his social media saying this and saying that now after the fact.
That makes sense. Yeah, he running his mouth. He running his mouth. He ran his mouth. He ran his mouth except when it could save his life. He tripped out, bro.
But see, here's the deal, right? I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about me. I'm a part of that lifestyle, right? On some real shit, like I fuck with that lifestyle, and less is always better. You know what I'm saying? And you don't never put yourself out like that. But you know, I'm gonna tell you something. You get the Spider, you know this, because I know this. When you get to feeling yourself, and you having your money. You got these two bad ones, and yeah, I'm trying to be seen.
But was you thinking? You think he was trying to? You think he was trying to make it something they all could be into? That's the only way I could see him sharing that.
That's why he was putting it out there. But
okay.
Where he made his mistake was he didn't clear it with them.
Yeah, he posted. Yeah, he didn't fill it out right.
He didn't clear that with them. Yeah, he didn't do it right. Mm-hmm. He just was like, I'm Tory Lanez. This is what it is. Right. Not realizing. He dealing with a star and then a nobody.
Yeah, trying to play him like some thoughts and shit.
Yeah,
you already know that.
Exactly.
You gotta tell baby now, I'm like, hey, boo, check it out, baby. You know it ain't like that, mommy. You know a nigga fit. Because you know Tory Lanez feel him, but he try to go on that ego. You know when you on that ego trip, little mama gonna get on one too. Because she already pushing that stallion. Like, oh, I'm super stallion. I don't know why you. Because when you see her on the little box talk yelling at her like, you did this to me, you got me feeling all like you know, like mine in a shamble, and she like, you ain't gonna apologize, you ain't gonna do none of that, you don't feel like you owe me something. you know, all that. Little mama, like, you know, I mean, you done did all that in front of the world. You sure you ain't gotta apologize? Because you better get right with me. And you better get right with me with the whole world.
So you think?
So she told him, like, man, so I mean, it ain't never too late. But there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? You know, better tell baby, like, check this out, mommy. You know, daddy feel you, like, man, everything gonna be all right. Everything is everything. Better get them Potter bags or something, nigga. Nigga, you better get right with baby girl, like you better get right with God.
Nah, I don't think. No, that's. I think if he needs her participation, it's a wrap. I think it's gonna be. He's gonna have a better chance with an appeal lawyer attacking the issues that actually happened in the trial because she's not coming around. She going through so much. They just got a female, and I'm not hating on female. I'm not hating on females, but as far as the movement of the females just feeling like they had her back regardless, they just got such a big W that she's carrying. She has no room to show no sympathy for this dude. None. Even if deep down she really know it's bogus and it didn't go that way, she got to ride it all the way out, and she going to do that. Oh, my mama.
Yeah, I mean, she can ride it out, but at the same time, she can break it down for him. You feel me? I mean, they always can give her a little pass. You feel me? Like sometimes you can have a soft spot in you. If you feel it happen, you can still have a soft spot in your heart. At this point,
if she said anything to the contrary of what she said to get him convicted as a perjury, now she is at risk of doing time. She's not finna trade her freedom for his.
I mean, she ain't gotta like, she ain't gotta buckle it down and say he didn't do it, but she can, have a little mercy for the nigga and say, it happened, but I'm gonna try to give him a pass because he's probably gonna try to do it like that.
Too late. Why
would she do that though?
Yeah.
Why would she do that though?
I don't know what make you
that has been created behind this whole narrative that's put out there.
Yeah, this is finna take.
This is gonna take her over the top right now.
There you go.
Over the top.
There you go.
Something that she is completely. Yeah.
What you talking about her snitching, dry snitching?
It don't, man. Look, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Nah, nigga, I don't. Nah, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. There is no such thing. Yeah, there's no such thing as a female dry snitching after she got physically assaulted in a fucking relationship scenario romance. Ain't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear that.
We gonna give it to her. We gonna give it. My bad. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Look. I'm gonna take it. Hey, Spotter. Look, Spotter. Look, I'm gonna take it one step further. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I don't even think he did it. I think our girl did that. And I think he just didn't want to tell on her.
But look,
I think I did hear
look. She had gun residue on her hands. He had it on his hands. She pled the fifth. The fifth is in place for people who do not want to incriminate themselves. I think right there. Look, this is why I know. This is why I know the court system is fucked up to the point where you don't have to prove. All you have to do is convince the jury, because for any person with common sense, that's enough reasonable doubt right there. They ignoring the reasonable doubt and going with their convictions and what they've been convinced of. And I believe through the letter of the law, he gonna have action at appeal, bro.
Well, I think I heard that the two chicks had a fight and he was trying to break it up. You feel me? And they was like.
Bro,
they was trying to do all that.
He could have done himself. He could have done himself. He could have done himself. He could have done himself a great service if he could have. If he could have. If he could have.
I could be wrong.
No, look.
But I think I heard.
He could have done himself. He could have done himself a great service if he could have pulled about the poise to have something to articulate on his own defense. Like you talking about breaking up the fight, giving some type of concept as to why a girl would have some fucking residue on her hand. I think Tory Lanez, who ain't got nothing to do with no G shit, just played himself by being quiet, and I think he could have saved himself. Only reason, as if he got there and said the right thing. I would have to spit for myself. Fuck that. Oh my mama, mom. You not finna. Even if I'm guilty, you not finna cross me up. Oh my mama, mom.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the burners, but I know for sure. I think I heard that they was gonna have a fight or whatever. But you know,
no, the same witness that apparently say they saw the actual gunfire says they not only saw a fight, but they apparently saw a group of people jumping on Meg. It was real sympathy involved in that decision. It was less proof, I'm telling you. They became sympathetic because throughout this whole story, the witness say she got jumped. The witness say it looked like they was trying to kill her by beating her up.
That's terrible.
Then he got action. He got action at mistrial because it was reported that jurors was ending up on the elevator with him at random times. A real good appeal lawyer that's not going to be caught up with the media, the mob, and the emotions of a jury should give him action at getting that shit back in front of the appellate court. And as long as he don't have to do another retrial, he should come out favorable.
Yeah, plus I heard it wasn't them that really had the guns, it was the bodyguards. Because the girl bodyguard and they bodyguards was tripping. They was about to bust the guns. He like breaking it up, but the chicks because you know how the bodyguards get, you know, they get the little burners in their hand and go dumb, was fighting over the chicks because it was like the bodyguards were taking side. I think Tory Lanez bodyguard took the girl's side because she didn't have a bodyguard. And, you know, Megan's bodyguard was tripping. So, you know, it was all like, it was like they was trying to keep them segregated. What's up?
Hey, my nigga, however it went, he threw. So right now, done. And like I say, as soon it don't matter what the story was, it's what the jury believes. Father, you know like I know. Of course, it ain't about what you know, it's about what you can prove.
No, it's not. No, it's not about what you can prove. That's what they want you to believe. It's not about what you can prove. It's about what you can convince the jury of.
It's what they can prove.
It's what you can convince the jury of, whether you prove it or not.
Convince the jury of, right?
Yes, all you have to do is convince the jury.
He was found guilty in the court of public opinion, man.
Right.
He ain't had no choice. He ain't have no. However it went, look how high. That's like he's saying. Look, man, and I'm gonna tell this to your audience, man. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking so much.
Yep.
Quit defending yourself. Don't look. Whatever they accuse you of, it's their job to prove it. Why are you doing their job for them? That's why I don't understand how they're snitches, dog. Whatever you tell them detectives when they get you by yourself, I promise you, whatever you tell them, it ain't gonna help you. They don't care. They already got what they get. They just waiting on you to slip up. You know what I mean? Like that's why, like to all you youngsters that don't know, they ain't never been in the box. They never been in the interrogation room. Shut the fuck up.
Because typically, especially even when you think we'll be used, and you think
say can and will be used against you,
and when you
in the court of law,
and when you think you throwing them for a loop, and lying and tricking them and doing the better for you and your crimes, usually what happens is
and they just writing everything down, and they just bring it right back to court.
The youngsters don't realize you trying to say, oh no, then go like that and went like this and that. And typically what you do in those cases is you lock yourself at being there. And you don't realize the way they building this case, they need you to be confirmed to be there. And once you admit to be there, then the witnesses, first of all, don't even admit to being there. There's such things as having fucking lineups and they identify the wrong person, even on a guilty person.
How about you don't say nothing, Spotter? How about you just don't say nothing?
No, that's what I'm saying.
All.
That's my point is, listen. My point is don't say nothing. And I'm saying, even when you think you're not saying the wrong thing, because this is a lot of time. You're saying, look. You know, we got this situation that's so. everybody talk about snitching, ratting, telling, and everybody got a perspective, right? And then you got everybody talk about like it's such a cut and dry situation. However, there are gray areas, and gray areas come like this. When it comes to the streets and the game, you got young homies. They young. They out moving around, doing whatever. They get caught up, catch a charge. When they get in there, they think they talking to help. They literally have all intentions on lying and saying it didn't go this way. It wasn't like that. They did it first, not realizing you're locking yourself into the location and you're just making statements that can be flipped against you, even when you're not trying to be a rat. That's where the gray area come and niggas get disciplined, and you got to teach young niggas. So it's situations like that do present themselves. Oh, my mama. And
exactly.
It's different.
Hey, is that Creek?
Yeah, that's Creek.
I don't know your situation, right? But I don't know your situation, my nigga. But I bet you this. I bet you ain't in there because you told on yourself. You know what I mean? And somebody had to say something.
Absolutely not.
Oh, my mama.
If you just go in there and your only response, and this to your audience, response to anybody that want to hear me. Your only response to whatever, yeah, man, we got you doing this, all that is just speculation, man. Lawyer, take me back to my fit.
That's all you got to do.
And look,
you just said it correct right there. You just said it correct right there.
That's perfect.
And they got to shut down everything.
And you know what?
Why are you interviewing him without me here? That's what the lawyer will come in and ask. Is he detained? No. He's not detained. Most of the time, you're not even detained. But you done gave up so much a game or whatever didn't happen. Now you detained because you done talked yourself into a cell. Lord, shut up. Shut your mouth. They don't know nothing. If they knew anything, you wouldn't be in there. They wouldn't be asking you no questions in the first place. They knew it. If it was open and shut, you wouldn't even be in there.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think about the concept of the Kardashian curse? And Chloe is a part of this whole scenario. What do you think she had to do? What do you think she had to do? Or was it Chloe, Kylie, one of them? What did she have to do to avoid being called as a potential witness? Because they had testimony about what happened inside the party, inside the pool, outside. It was at her residence. I am aware of certain journalists who only covered the case because of the Kardashians' implications. So how do you think the Kardashian girl avoided being involved? And do you think it's another black that has fell victim to the Kardashian curse?
Let me ask you a question, Spotter. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm actually at the airport waiting to get this flight. But let me ask you a question, bro. How do you think she got out of that? Just honestly, your honest opinion. How do you think she beat that?
I believe they approached her and she acted like I was in my room and I didn't know nothing and I don't want to participate, and she didn't participate. In the same breath, I want to salute the who was that? The driver of the security guard who they had to track down, who was on the scene, and he was in the headlines. And everybody was like, they can't find the driver. They can't find the driver. And eventually, they found him, and he still came to court and didn't have nothing to say. I want to salute him.
So look, listen. Y'all do know that the reason why them Kardashians is even famous is because of a high-profile lawyer. So they know every right there is to know about anything criminal. You know what I'm saying? Because just on the strip of them being in that family from Robert Shapiro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure when it all happened, somebody came and gave her a visit. Not only that, she got money out the ass. You already know money talk, bullshit walk. You know what I mean?
But it shows this. Sure, I think even with all that being said, the fact that she was able to avoid participation, I think it shows that others could have as well. If it was at her house, she was said to have witnessed a lot of the incidents that led up to her name was implicated in the drama. If it was at her address and she was present on the night of the event, for her to avoid participation proves that legally others could as well. or it proves that she's beyond. Oh, look, I'm saying all this on his behalf. All these is factors to bring up in appeal. But I hear a female on the line, and we definitely don't get that often around here. So I want to allow her a moment to speak her mind. What's happening, young lady?
Hey, how you doing, Spider?
All right, your show.
I'm doing good. So I want to change the perspective just a little bit for y'all because I have a different outlook. I feel like as I've been watching this case, like, I feel like she shouldn't have lied. Like, she came in to it lying. And I feel like the management company that she's under is basically trying to protect her image. Because
How do you think
not having no evidence?
How do you think she was so successful even though we saw her lie, even about something that is so serious as if they were even intimate?
Because I feel like they trying to protect her image.
So do you think in a sense of an appeal, because that's not a new perspective for me, but that's something I forgot to point out. I'm glad you brought that up because I don't understand how a couple years before or a year or so or however long it was since that Gayle King thing, when she asked her, was y'all intimate, the pause, and she openly lied.
Right.
And now,
lied.
Yes. And now with that being such a key factor in the issues that triggered all this, that she's saying something totally different. I don't know how that's not enough for reasonable doubt in court right there. I wonder if the defense was allowed to show that clip in court. I imagine they weren't.
No, because I feel like was the courts in New York or was it in LA?
It was in LA at CCB, and ain't no black male that was born and raised in LA have anything but hate and disgust for the criminal courts building. We can't stand that motherfucker. Yeah. Oh my mama.
Right. But I feel like there's some powers to be, and when you are up against those powers, like, you gonna lose every time.
I agree. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Louisville, Kentucky.
Do you believe that overall that he shot her, or do you believe that the jury was just convinced that he shot her?
Man, this is gonna be funny, but I feel like she need to put out a track called "Who Shot You?" because she don't know who shot her.
Look, you just gave her a platinum idea. I wish we could copyright that right now. If she flipped the Biggie beat and do it the way kind of like how he did it, that'll go. Oh my mama.
Yeah, she don't know who shot her though. She don't know. But to protect her image and to keep the narrative going in Hollywood, as keep turning down the black man, keep boost up the white woman. Then next thing you know it, the gay community will be behind her. So she'll probably be on America Good Morning tomorrow morning.
When it comes to the rainbow community, if you just look at the landscape of the media that was covering the case, she had extreme support from black male rainbow bloggers. They got her back. Mm-hmm. And I believe them being such an influential community and since they feel like they're black women as well, I think that type of support is just very persuasive in the public court. I think I think they're more of those type of individuals that support her wholeheartedly than just regular women. I think the average regular natural woman is as suspicious as the regular natural man. On God.
Let me ask you a question, man. Let me ask the sister a question, if that's cool.
Yeah, please do.
Hey, listen, man. Let me ask you something. You heard what Spotter just said, right? You think that they had her back?
Yeah.
Who got our back?
Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
You ever notice that
Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Can you imagine Could you imagine?
I agree with
could y'all imagine what Kevin Samuels would be saying right now?
Man,
he would eat this up.
Ain't nobody got our back. That dude was in there, man, fighting for his life, and like you said, Like I keep saying, he was found guilty of in the public eye before he even hit that courtroom. So it was already. It was
why you see how they keep pulling all these rappers up on this RICO and all this, and their lyrics keep coming up. Man, that defense attorney should have had 2 hours of just letting her describe who she actually is on her lyrics. Get an idea of who this woman really is. Y'all looking at her in these business suits, and you hearing her cry on this stand and talk like such a victim, but ain't she a savage? Can somebody define a savage? Somebody define savage for me. What's a savage?
That's definitely the energy she put out there.
Whoa, and
that big energy out there.
What? And a savage is gone. You know what? When you dedicate yourself to be a savage, that means any means necessary to get that W. I just feel like Cuz got railroaded. He got played by a savage, and he thought he could handle that savage. Not only do she weigh twice as much as you, boy, she twice as heavier than you with this whole little politicking, bro. You got played. And messing with a savage stallion, I know right now, Tory Lanez is in his cell feeling like, damn, this might be a better option. Suicide.
That can't be
Suicide. Doors, they go up and give you butterfly. That's the way that I'm feeling. Put you down, linen in my sock. She gon' let me pop. We gon' keep on flexing like it ain't no way to stop. Suicide.
Do or die. You give me goosebumps, I feel blue inside. Hop in a new whip, it's so new inside. Might crash that little bitch, call it suicide. Yes, baby, you and I, cutie pie. Balenciaga bumming blue attire. We run it up always in new attire. We cutting up, we drip like suicide. You and I don't play no games, I don't do well with them. You got your ways, I cannot deal with them. Roll up, get high, smoke one, don't chill with. Alone, V-long, top down, let's feel, yeah. Suicide. Roll me up a blunt, it feel like suicide. You and I, do or die. Suicide.
Suicide. Doors, they go up and give you butterfly. That's the way that I'm feeling. Put you down, linen in my sock. She gon' let me pop. We gon' keep on flexing like it ain't no way to stop. Suicide.
I do the dash when I'm swerving. Apply the pressure, make her nervous. If you ask about me, you'll be certain I'm the only bitch that put the work in. And they just be calling my phone, told them leave me alone. It's just us and we all in our zone. Roll a few blunts on the road. Meet me out on your block, yeah. Pulling up with the top down. I see them other girls watching, cause I'm the one that's on top now. Done lit the back when I'm high now. I told them bitches to pipe down. We done left them hoes to get right now. They catching feels, we catch flights now.
And if I never fell in love, I was infatuated. Fascinated by the fantasy you fabricated. I never hated on your growth, in fact congratulated. Was glad you made it out of college once you graduated. But the fact that I was active had you agitated. Your attitude be hard to handle once you aggravated. My heart ain't quite cold, but it's coagulated. Rather jaded, faded, but I'm gon' calculate it. My mama never married, but the bastard made it. And I did it by myself like I masturbated. Suicide. And you know, I want to shout out the homegirl Tanya Tarver. I just now realized that was you on the line. What up, baby girl? Welcome to the Black Box. This is your home.
Yep, I'm here.
I'm glad you here. 909 area code. Yeah. 909 area code.
Because I wanted to break down speculate from the Bible.
Okay, I'm going to let you do that. Just hang in there. Hold on. 909 area code. You the latest addition to the politicking here. You here with me and my boy Sweets and the 424, the homegirl Tanya. What's on your mind frame?
What up, SBR? I was just want to chime in because I just feel like we be using a lot of this Cali street logic with a lot of these industry niggas, and that ain't what it was. I feel like homie was trying to keep it G. He was smashing both broads. Nigga, they got to arguing in the whip about, nigga, what was going on or whatever. He had action with Kylie. They was jealous because they actually had left the party without him, and he was there, nigga, walking around in his boxers by his damn self up in Kylie crib, and they went back and hated on the nigga and went and snatched him up. So then they get into it in the car or whatever. Nigga, Meg is a big broad. She was, they said the Kelsey girl was whooping on her low key, or somebody was getting the best of whoever. Somebody grabbed, Kelsey grabbed the whip. I mean the burner, and she let off a couple of little shots or whatever. He got the burner from her, and he got rid of the clip.
Oh, that's what happened.
He let the rest.
That's what
He
happened.
let the rest of the clip off. Yeah, he let the rest of the clip off.
Some ricocheted
so
in
nobody
here.
else would get hurt. So nobody else would get hurt. And that was the end of it. This broad, they so drunk out their mind. The little gay hairstylist said they went through 8 bottles of Henny. What broad you know can handle 8 bottles of Henny?
Only a stallion and her closest partner.
Exactly. And the Kelsey broad was so the hairdresser, nigga testified, nigga, they had left her in the pool on the little floaty. Nigga, she was over there for like an hour drunk on the floaty, just floating around the pool while they still partying and turning up.
Then they say
so
somebody.
You gotta pay attention to the details of the case.
Then they said somebody
And
took
she
her
got
upstairs
this-
to sleep it off for an
Go
hour and a
ahead.
half. They said somebody took her upstairs to sleep it out for an hour and a half too. After that.
Exactly. So you got all this other shit going on. They say soon as Tory showed up to the function, nigga, she started twerking in the living room and shit, trying to mark our claim. Like, we all been in this game as men and know how women get down.
Yep.
Ain't no nigga that smashed 2 broads, 2 friends, about to be upset about nothing.
Right.
I don't care what went on.
So you think?
So at the end of the day, he called himself trying to be a G because
and trying
he lived in
to smooth that
society
shit
of no snitching.
and trying to smooth that shit out in the beginning when the conversation came up about it's all 3 of us. He probably was trying to make it like how it should be. Like, we ain't none of us together. If we all doing it, Meg, you on interviews telling another, what was that? She told the other bitch, I like bitches and I like you and all. So he probably was trying to like make it how it's supposed to be. We could even add the Kardashian if you just kick back, and they just couldn't handle it.
But see, FBI wasn't even on that. These bitches figured it out, I think, in the car, because they say homegirl Meg started fucking Tory when homegirl caught COVID and had to go back to Texas. So then that's when they started fucking around and shit. And then he just, nigga, I ain't about to say shit. And I think everything came to a head in that car. So then that's when you start hearing, oh, bitch, she done did this shit to me before. Nigga, she fucked Ben Simmons. Nigga, she fucked the baby. And so all this is all new information. So you got 2 hoes just going at it like fucking pit bulls. What is a nigga gonna do at the end of the day? I'm winning, and I just had this Kylie Jenner $1 billion broad on my nuts at the front. I'm not tripping off nothing.
Look, you should have
But
been.
I'm in the car.
Hey, look, you should have been his lawyer or been in his lawyer ear. Cause
I know, bro.
Why do he got 3? He got 3 high. He got 2 high profile. He probably like the least high profile female the most. Kelsey probably the best little energy. But you trying to. He ain't got no reason to be mad at nobody. You so motherfucking right, homie. Oh my
the fucking hairdresser, he know the little gay hairdresser, he know both them bars. He said, nigga, when Kelsey be drunk, she's a vibe, she fun to chill with, she all in the mix. When Mary get drunk, she aggressive, she weird. That bitch was that's how she got kicked out. She was disrespecting Kylie in the house. Like I thought you was gonna be a square board or some shit. Who goes and does that shit at $1 million bitch house? And we talking about industry shit. And you supposed to be politicking and making friends.
When you go from Ben Simmons, the stature of a nigga like NBA nigga, to a Tory Lanez, and you a stallion, and Meg is like WNBA built or WNFL built, and you got a Tory Lanez. You finally get all that aggression out on him. You probably think you could just like, if I was him,
FBI, that's where that nigga feelings got hurt, and that's where he didn't play a G. Because when the shit first happened, I think if nobody would have said nothing, no files would have been charged. Because it took a long ass time for them to file those charges. But he was in his feelings because She didn't come out and say the reason why he's in the middle of this shit. So then he start throwing the innuendos of I'm fucking both these bitches, and then she start threatening him like, nigga, keep playing with me. Look at the social media history of this shit.
The thing
So
is,
he
she
was in his
lied.
feelings because he looking, I'm a little 5'2" nigga knocking down this 6 foot bitch.
She
Why
lied
this
to
bitch ain't claiming me?
She lied to the police about Black Lives Matter or the police kill black people. Off top, she was lying, bro. She got on Gail.
Use George Floyd, bro.
She
Use
used George Floyd. She got on Gail King, lied about them fee knucking. It come up that that's a lie. She should have been disqualified as a credible witness. She shouldn't even been. The prosecution should. You know they used their star power because based on all the lies she told, the prosecution would not even have trusted her as being a credible witness. She would tank the case. The fact that they let her get up there.
She said she was in there crying, talking about she was suicidal. Bitch, you suicidal and you traumatized, but then you did WAP 3 months later. You twerking on one fucking leg and shit. That ain't how this shit work, but you already know how the game go when it come to men and women. It's like if you see your mama cry, or if you see your baby mama cry, you gonna feel some type of way even if you know they wrong. She went up there, gave them crocodile tears, talked about how much trauma she done had, and them motherfuckers ate it up, even though every motherfucker in that car, like, all 3 of their asses should be in jail for being dumb.
But you know what? She also is benefiting from the image that the public has thrown upon black men. Regardless if it is highly perpetuated by some of the things we are guilty of, he is becoming victim of it, whether he is guilty or not. They love to see the OJ, Chris Brown, Bill Cosby image shot down and shitted on. And he's victim of that. On my mama.
Yep.
She finna be the new face of domestic violence for women.
Yep.
She gonna be the new face of that. Why?
Hey, watch. She gonna end up getting a humanitarian award in the next 6 months. Her little boyfriend already came out with the little protective shit. This shit is all a little press rollout, and all I'm interested to see is how are these industry niggas like Drake done said some little shit. You know, Diddy and them niggas kind of took a line and was starting to let Tory back into these circles. So I'm wondering who's gonna be willing to work with this broad, knowing that she's a liar and she willing to
Everybody. She finna have access to everybody. Tory Lanez lost. He might have a few of them like he tapped in on the back end, but you know all them niggas is queerdos anyway. He lost. She won. It's a wrap. They going with whatever the court say. He was already guilty to a lot of them before it was a court thing. But like you say, when niggas sat back and watched how it played out before it went to court, it looked like he didn't do it. So you know the court got it wrong, bro. Everybody got off his bumper. Everybody was on his bumper because of what she said, and then just judging by the way she proceeded and the way he proceeded, they was like, nah, maybe not. Now we're getting in court with these people who have been proven to not be his peers, and the prosecution was, with all their degrees and experience, they were capable of convincing or tricking the jury into a guilty verdict, bro.
Exactly, and that's because he fucked up because he played his hand too early. She didn't want to speak on the relationship. I wouldn't have spoke about that shit till we got to court. Then all that shit would have been like, oh, she been. But when all this shit is already played out and you got a year and a half of knowing what the fuck is going on, it's a race, niggas. That's the social media generation. I'm not from that era. Niggas talk too much.
Man,
oh God!
I've been saying that since I've been on the line.
Oh God! They talk too much.
And the cold thing is, if he would have just shut his mouth and let them prove that he did something, and then when it was time to speak, started get on that stand and expose everything. It probably would have went away.
Yeah.
It probably would have went away because that's what it is. That's what kind
this
of
way
life.
he fucked up.
Look,
this way he fucked up, bro. This way
he
he fucked up. This way he fucked up. Look.
This nigga was still trying to play industry games.
But this way he fucked up, like you say. But look, y'all. Guess what led him to stardom? His mouthpiece. Showtime. He on Showtime, it was like being on the stage with stage fright. He got scared of that stand. He's so confused. He heard taking the stand is for snitches, and he didn't realize he supposed to take that stand and save his own soul if you really got a mouthpiece. And you fucked up.
Hey, but SBI, at the same time, I think his lawyer probably told him not to do it because this nigga in the court like 8 cases since then.
Let me tell you something. And you know what? You know why his lawyer probably told him not to? Because he probably made the mistake of being 100% honest with his lawyer, and then his lawyer told him, don't get on the stand. Sometimes I don't give a fuck what they tell you, bro. I know you supposed to be 100%. You gotta. It's a chess game, and when you the only thing at risk, you gotta know what you're doing. So I know at times you're supposed to be able to tell your lawyer everything, but you gotta know when it's times you can't tell him everything, and you gotta go with the story in your head. Convince yourself of the lie, or you gotta foolproof the lie that you're gonna run with, and run with that, even with your motherfucking lawyer. You gotta give your lawyer the framework and within the work within, and see if he can if he poke a hole in it, then that's what he there for. If he can't poke a hole in it, then run with it, nigga. Run with it. That's Tory Lanez. The world only knows you because you are supposedly somebody that possesses a mouthpiece. You're kind of different from the average nigga that get caught up in the case. When your life is on the line and you going against a bitch with a mouthpiece, and you going against a lawyer with a mouthpiece, you need to have a mouthpiece. I done had a gang of cases, bro, and I've never really utilized my voice in court. I've taken deals the majority of the times. I've never been to trial, actually. But in hindsight, every time I've had to allow a professional to speak on my behalf, I've always been thoroughly convinced I could have done way better for myself. I'm just not educated on the law enough to go pro perk. But when it comes time to speak for myself, there is no one alive better than for me, other than me to speak for myself. Nobody. Even if you have to present a lie and protect yourself within the parameters of the lie, I'd rather. And sometimes you gotta know, but I think this is what I think. I think his lawyers did the awesome job that they could do, and I still think it didn't matter. It's almost like you winning a game, and then in the fourth quarter, you can win the game. You throw a wide open pass. The defender obviously tackles the receiver before the ball comes, and they don't throw the fucking flag. And everybody watching can see in slow motion, fast motion, this is a pass interference. What can you do if they don't throw the flag? I don't care how good a job the prosecution did. If you have 12 jurors who the only thing they know about the legal system is law and order, and these few weeks that they've been in the court, and they had to deal with this motherfucker who graduated top of their legal class, you in trouble, bro.
And SBI, at the end of the day, I feel like the fix was already in because the prosecution didn't do a good job. LAPD botched the evidence. The shit was fucked up. I think at the end of the day, he picked the wrong time to have the trial. These motherfuckers is trying to go home for Christmas. Wow. That boy was railroaded, and it just is what it is. He tried to play the game because he thought the shit. I'm pretty sure when he was going back to that hotel that night, he looking at social media. Anybody nigga with a real eye can look at this shit and say it's reasonable doubt to this shit. At worst, he getting a mistrial.
Exactly.
So I think he played the hand, and then he seen, nigga, this is the game we play when you going up against a real enemy and a motherfucker with a mouthpiece and some paper behind him.
And the feminist
move. And she's a boy.
Yep. And a black woman, because what's the high profile dude that just went through the whole little divorce case with his wife and all the recordings and they was playing all, it was a big case. Johnny Depp. You see how he got the W, and I can imagine if you just compare what we just generally aware of, she seemed just as believable as the whole Megan evidence, and he won. He got a W.
Yeah, he got a W.
Yeah, well,
he got the complexion for the connection, and he was able to document everything that she was doing. He had videos and everything. Like I said, homeboy tried to play the trial in social media, and as a black man, you ain't gonna never win that war.
You're right.
I like you, dog. This man right here is speaking real facts, man.
Oh, my mama.
He said I agree with.
Yes, it's hard to find something to disagree with.
Real talk. He didn't have a chance, brother. That dude didn't have. Like he said, they trying to go home for Christmas.
No, look, y'all.
And he's a black man, and he's in California.
Look, the only thing that could combat all what he was up against is an eloquent black man that has a mouthpiece speaking. Just think about what preachers. Just think what preachers do. Bro, that was his time. You a nigga that write love songs and fly songs, and you use your mouthpiece to represent your riches. This was the time you were supposed to be able to bank on your mouthpiece. Hey, look, it couldn't have got no worse. Obviously, you got guilty of all 3 charges.
Exactly.
You couldn't have made it no worse.
Exactly, and I think he let his lawyers get in his ear because he just got into some shit with August Alsina. He got another gun charge, so they felt like the prosecution was gonna eat up on his character. So they told him to fall back and buy the evidence. So he just played the game wrong. I would have went up there, nigga. It is what it is, nigga. I'm a ride a fly with myself.
You right.
But he said that listening to the people.
Go ahead.
They told him, you get on that stand, they gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
It's best that you don't do that.
You right. But
they
look.
told him, they got in his ear and said, if you get on that stand, all the stuff that, like I said, shut your mouth. That's what I'm saying. With the August Alsina thing, if you was smart, he was like, I'm not aware of what he did. He did a lot, bro. He was he kept catching stupid charges instead of just sitting back, chilling. He just got off house arrest, didn't he? Yeah, he was doing house arrest.
And he out here on a green card.
Yep.
Do you know how hard it is to get into Canada with a behavior reputation like he?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Canada probably put a Canada. I ain't been to Canada since I've been grown because I didn't even try based on certain people I saw didn't get access, and I was aware of why they didn't get access. I never even tried to go to Canada since I've been grown based on the reason why I know other people were disqualified. And we got a new caller, y'all. Hold on. 619 area code. You in the black box? What's happening?
SBI, what's happening with you, homie? What's happening with you?
Oh, man, blessings abundant. Gratitude is the attitude, man. We just in here politicking on this Tory Lanez verdict. You dig it, Lodge?
Hey, let me tell you, man, before I even get started, you almost made me have an accident, boy.
What'd I say?
When you called the girl Megan WNFL, nigga, I swear to God, I almost crashed. I was laughing so hard. I said, this nigga is clowning.
Hey, look, and look.
WNFL, nigga, I was in tears.
And this is
off the lane and everything.
And this is not me saying from what I seen. She has all the sex appeal that you could imagine. I'm not saying she ain't sexy, but when you look at the size difference,
a big broad,
she a big old broad. And if they had a WNFL, she'd be a DN or something.
Man, I died, boy, when you said that, man. But as far as the trial go, I mean, I was listening to a lot of stuff that Alex Alonso was saying, right? You know, when he was reading the transcripts and all that. I'm just trying to figure out how the hell did they get that Tory Lanez was the shooter when the neighbor upstairs said he watched the whole thing, watched them fight, and seen the fire coming out of the Kelsey girl hand. Now, mind you, they say that Megan and the Kelsey girl was fighting, so you know how that shit was going. That was like what your boy Cat Williams say, like a gorilla fighting a elephant, or a rabbit or some shit like that. Right. You know, that was not a good thing. I know she was beating the dog shit out of her, so she done got tipped up a little bit. She noticed a thing in the car. She go grab it and get off on her. You know what I mean?
That makes
but
all
I don't know
sense.
how the jury, after hearing that, say that Tory, you know what I mean, and she had gun residue on her. Now, they say that you can get that by touching somebody else or shaking hands or doing whatever, however, but I just don't see how they convicted him when the neighbor clearly watched the whole thing. He ain't got no part in the game. He ain't got no dirt in the game, so it don't make no difference who he gonna say did it or not. You know what I mean? I don't think he wavered either way. But he said what he said. He said this is what I seen from upstairs from the apartment. Did you hear that when Alex was talking about that?
I did. That's why I'm so confused as to how they came with a guilty on all 3 charges. It blow my mind. Not even me saying that I'm convinced he didn't do it. I don't know. What I'm saying is based on what they was able to present. If I was a juror, I wouldn't have been. I couldn't have. I don't see the proof. Reasonable doubt. If all I need to have is reasonable doubt, it's plenty of that. Oh my mama.
And I mean, to keep it real, she did get shot. You know, they said it was bullets. She got shot or whatever. It might have been a bullet scraping off the ground or whatever. But like I say, who the one that shot her, and as a witness, like I said, the neighbor said that he seen the flames coming out from the female's hand. Shoot.
Exactly. So this is my thing. My question is, if all they needed was reasonable doubt, that's all. What do you classify that when that female chose not to participate to avoid self-incrimination on these charges? How is that not classified as reasonable doubt? I don't get it.
It should have been at the least been a hung jury or something. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I think he probably got action at a appeal.
Likewise, but I think it also leads credence to what the homie was saying, that them people want to get home for the holidays, all that. It might have been bad timing, but you're right. I definitely believe he got action on appeal, and I got my fingers crossed for him on appeal. Not because I am not anti-violence against females. It's because I don't believe that it was proven that he is guilty, bro. And of course, if I knew for a fact he just tripped out and nutted up and shot and harmed a female, I got young adult daughters. Of course, fuck a nigga like that.
That part.
But I don't believe there's half enough evidence to prove that that's what took place at all. That's fucked up.
I honestly think that he digging both of the girls out. They get mad, Megan drunk, they fighting. I think he got out the car and tried to break the fight up. You know what I mean? I think he did that. And then just like they said too, if you listen to the ring camera, that you can hear the gunshots being fired, right? Mm-hmm. It was do 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 do. I think it was 3 shots and then 2 more shots. So with that being said, it wasn't like somebody shot and then gave the gun to somebody else and somebody else shot too. Whoever initially shot, they shot all 5 shots.
Right.
The neighbor saying that he seen her shooting, the girl shooting. So to me, if they look back all over the court paperwork, look at the documents, and look at what the witnesses said, and I'm talking about witnesses outside of the car, outside of people that was at the party, or somebody that lived in an apartment upstairs and seeing that, they got to use that evidence to,
that's
try
why,
to get him out of there, because that don't make no sense, man, at all.
That's why I feel like he fell victim to the fallacies of the court system, to where you got 12 jurors who this is their only experience in dealing with law, and they were faced with making the most difficult situation throughout the whole procedure. And I just think they got it wrong. I think if they had a chance to take all the classes that all the lawyers took and the judges took, I think there should be a system of professional jurors, just like they are professional lawyers and judges. I think it should be people who study to be a juror, and that's their job, and that's what I think the court system should be set up like that. It's some bullshit, bro.
And to go with my way of thinking anyway, being the person that don't believe in this system, don't believe that this system was never designed for us anyway. To me, I just looked at it like, okay, now we got another one that we can get some free labor out of for 5 to 10 years.
Oh,
you know what I mean? They didn't really care if he was innocent or guilty, but they knew they was somebody they could get some free labor out of.
And whether it was driven by free labor, as you suggest, he is falling victim to the concept that as many of us in that position is better than us out here being productive. And he was definitely counted among the productive ones of us. So he definitely holds himself now. And I think he's gonna get out way before. How much? I'm opening the line back up to everybody else. It's just me and you right now, but I'm opening it back up.
All right.
How much time do y'all think he gonna get?
He said 10, right? This was. I don't know if it was a minimum of 10 or a maximum of 10. But shoot, ain't nobody trying to do no damn dying like that on some shit they didn't even do.
He ain't gonna do the full 20, but it is California. I mean, that's the only. Like, somewhere else.
Does anybody know the actual? Does anybody know that? Does anybody know the actual charges? Was he charged with intentionally attempting to shoot?
Possession. I know one of them was gun possession.
Assault with a firearm.
Wow.
Gun possession, and it was something else. But he
gun possession and shooting discharging the firearm in public. Shit, that carry a gang time right there.
Yeah, he's facing 23 and deportation.
And but look, and I don't care how much time you get. When you magnify it to one of these celebrities that we perceive as rich, all the time we know how to take on the chin. Every day they give us is like a year to them, bro.
Hey, man. get ready, man, because like my man just said, it's gonna be. This is the new look. They setting precedents, man. I'm telling you, and we ain't got a dog in the. We ain't got a chance in hell, man. They letting you know what they going. You get caught up on something, homie, they let you know how they gonna handle it, and they got our own doing it to us. We ain't got they got our own doing it to us, homie.
Yeah, and our own ain't
look at
smart,
her, man.
and our own ain't smart enough to see it because the same females that's happy and on Twitter running their mouth ain't got no smoke for the niggas that killed Breonna Taylor.
Say it again.
Yeah, say that again.
Say
that again.
I said it again. The same black females that's on Twitter happy right now and celebrating a black man going to jail, being away from his family, ain't got no smoke for the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, and they said shit in a year and a half.
And just think about the young nigga. Even though I think that was the wrong move, the flossing for the cameras. Just think about the young nigga he brought to court with him, bro. His baby boy. And okay, if your daddy played himself and played you like that, cool. If we can see that, okay, cool. But it has not been proven that he did shit. Cause that's fucked up.
Yeah, see that, but him bringing his son, that was you already know that was under the advice of his attorney. All of this is a show, bro. This ain't. That's what I'm saying. Like this is all a show.
But his attorney advised them incorrectly because, like we know, the same energy and forces that we were discussing want to see that child fatherless, and he's way more vulnerable to be recruited into all this rain. He dig a lot. Like that's another one. That's an A.
SBI, and look at the timing. This little boy losing his father for the holiday. He ain't gonna be able to spend Christmas with him. He ain't gonna be there for New Year's, and then they had him running around with his girlfriend with the afro, with the Angela Davis afro. Y'all seen that?
I didn't see that.
They played that all wrong.
But that's so deep
But his son
because
had to watch his daddy get taken back, into jail, put handcuffs on, man. Man. He ain't gonna never forget that, man. That's sad, man.
They don't. You think they care? They don't care about the trauma they put us through.
No.
They look at it like, man, this is what it is. This is what you gotta get used to. You know what I mean?
This is a system that was never designed to benefit us.
This is a lifeline of a history that has been going on and has existed for many and many of years, man. This is nothing new. It has been many families broke up. Many mamas hurt, many kids hurt. This has been going on forever. This don't start with him, and it's not going to end with him.
That's so deep. But you know what I realized? Just think about how Candace Owens, she takes it out, goes out of her way to say, no matter what we saw on video happened to George Floyd, she says the reaction was exaggerated because of his character. She likes to describe what type of individual that she believes George Floyd to be, and she thinks that blacks, whatever movement, should not adopt that type of person for a poster child for whatever. So where is the flip side of this woman? We know nothing wholesome about her. We know she is comfortable as representing herself as the most thirsty, trashy, thoughtless, thoughtful. And when I say thoughtless, I mean mental, and thoughtful, I mean as a thought. She is comfortable saying, I am trash. I am a savage. There is nothing positive about savagery or claiming to be a savage, especially in regards to your female image. So we know what she represents. In the process of her announcing herself to be this type of individual, throughout the whole process leading up to trial, she has been caught in multiple lies on this subject matter, bro. From saying they wasn't getting down to also the other lies she made later on. It just blows my mind, bro.
But hey, look, Spider, it go back to what old boy on the phone is saying though, on the line. It don't matter. We looking at it as G's on the street side. They don't know nothing. All they see in that courtroom is a battered black woman that's been assaulted and shot. They don't look at the lies. We know about all of that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know nothing about that, man. That's why they had it, like you said, in the backyard of Hollywood. One of the most hated, besides Torrance and Hawthorne, one of the most hated courtrooms you ever gonna be in.
And you know
and
what?
When
we see,
you know what I'm saying, they did that on purpose.
So when we see her get these up and coming movie roles, we gonna know how she earned them.
Yeah, wait till she get that humanitarian award.
Oh, that, huh?
She about to be the most iconic black woman
Broad
on the planet.
with the
She gonna have her.
she about to get the humanitarian award.
Yeah.
You see what?
And the Nobel Peace Prize.
You see what getting shot? You see what? You see?
But
You see what?
hey, all y'all brothers out here, just pay attention on your social medias and everything that's going on. Look at what these bras is saying and how they riding with this shit, and know what you in for. Because if two drunk hoes can get you locked up and beyond a reasonable doubt, it ain't no facts, nigga. We all in trouble.
Oh my mama. Ooh wee.
And another thing.
You know I be my son.
When you start getting your money and you start becoming who you are destined to become, do not, and I repeat, do not start feeling yourself. Stay humble. Because that was his first mistake. He didn't stay humble. He wanted to let the world know what he was doing in his bedroom, which that was his first mistake, because it made them put them on the defense, and next thing you know, now there's a problem. If he would have just chilled out, like Father said, we probably could hit the Kardashian too if you just chill.
Right, and
but he got the feeling itself.
It ain't nothing you got to talk about. It's something you let the moment present itself. Once you realize it, you think everybody gonna cooperate
organically,
and you got to do this, y'all.
Yeah, organically,
we got to do this. Remember, you got to read between the lines. On my mama.
We read between the lines. We read between the lines. We read between
On the set, could have swore I had covered my bases. Ended up in court, had to fight a couple of cases. Crackers don't care when you come into places. It be written on their faces. Them motherfuckers is racist. Fuck trial, shit tricky, give me the deal. I ain't never seen a real killer beat a pill. Shooter got a brighter future if he got a date. Behind the gate, lot of politics to tolerate. Sitting in the car, finna split a cigar. To my niggas on the yard, send my biggest regards. You don't wanna run it back, we already ran it. You landed flat on his back, cause I'm heavy-handed. Wanna catch another fade, we can follow up. But I ain't waiting all day, niggas squabble up. Gang of anger, got it all bottled up. Gang bangers, whole world follow us. Evil signs you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil signs you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Niggas clowns need to be in the circus. Putting these buzzers on the turf, they defeating the purpose. The first to return when the enemy serves immediately on ease. These weenies be nerve dedicated to a section that didn't deserve us. It turned us into murderers and then the deserters. Number one lesson I learned in the pen: when you lose your respect, you can't earn it again. Smoke a lot, classified most faded. The local won't be satisfied till all his folks made it. This Cabbage Patch where he caught most of the damage at. Perhaps he know a magic plastic surgeon that can manage that. Ask me, I'm just a product of my habitat. Narcotic habits where they quick to let you have it at. Nigga, homie talking about he need half of that. I'm laughing at him as if my little bastard's having that. Evil signs you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil signs you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong, cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. That record is entitled Between the Lines, available on all digital platforms for those that don't know. We in the black box. This is called Real Near Radio when we get to this part of the show. What's happening, y'all?
Hey, Father.
Yes.
Father, hey, that's one of your hardest songs ever. That song right there, man. I take my salute you on that song right there. I remember having that on repeat, man. Like mashing from LA to the Northwest. It's on repeat, knocking that. That song is hard, homie.
That's hard. Good looking, homie. Good looking, homie.
Real talk. That's the shit right there. That's
we,
one of my favorite ones.
We got a caller.
Understood.
I ran that today too. We got a caller from the 713 that just joined us. I know. Are you incarcerated or you in Texas? What is it? 713. What's happening? You out of here. He ain't say nothing. We got rid of him, y'all. I don't know what was happening. We got another caller.
You know that's Houston, right? That's Houston right there. That's 713. I know sometimes it come up as jail though too though.
Look, that was
I used to fuck with Houston.
That was 713. Now we got a 317. What's happening 317?
This Blue Jay, man. I want to call in and say salute. And hey, if we all don't stick together, cuz hey,
I know this voice. I know this voice right here, man. I know this voice. This Blue Jay roller coaster. What up, my loved one?
What's up, cuzzo?
You got
it, man. I think they lock cuz up, man, for no reason, bro. From what I'm hearing, I didn't follow the trial like that, so. Don't get me, but from what I heard, little pieces here and there, because I've been really busy on some other shit, cuz. In the next 20 years, cuz, if we don't stick together, quit bullshit, man, it ain't gonna be too many real black men around, cuz.
Let me do this. Hey, Alex, I see you in the chat, Alex. You was in the courtroom for if not all, for the majority of the trial. If you wouldn't mind calling in, you see the number on the screen, Alex. If you wouldn't mind calling in and giving us a little of your perspective, we definitely appreciate it. Just want to invite you to call in and just give us a little of your insight from what you saw front row seat. No pressure if you're not in the pocket to call, but Alex Alonso, I'm inviting you to call in, bro. Oh, my mama. Hey, yeah, Blue Jay, I think it is that deep, bro. I think it very much so. That's Alex right there. Hold on, y'all. We got a special caller. 2A, what up, 2A? Yo, Alex.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you got the floor, man. I appreciate you calling in. Like I was telling the listeners earlier, I got most of my knowledge from this case as it was developing between my two favorite bloggers, you and Nick at Night. I was very glad that y'all was down there covering it. So I know you have a firsthand account of what took place not only in the courtroom, but, can you give us your perspective on how, because I kind of was checking your temperature leading up to the verdict, and you kind of expected what I expected just based on what you saw, that he would more than likely get a not guilty. How do you think it flipped so drastically?
Yeah, I was leaning towards the defense, especially after Friday, the DNA and the GSR. But I think the case flipped when Sean Kelly, the white British dude who owned the house where this whole incident took place at, when dude testified for the defense, he ended up becoming a prosecution witness and helping them out more than he did the defense. And I think that just changed the whole case when Sean Kelly testified.
So what actually did he testify to that you think was so convincing of guilt?
Well, initially he testified to all the things the defense said that he was going to say in his opening arguments, that he saw the muzzle flash come from the girl first. He saw two girls fighting. He saw everyone get out the car. But what the defense attorney did not realize that when asked more questions, as the prosecution did, what happened after you saw the muzzle flash from the girl, the prosecution asked, he ended up saying, then I saw the little guy grab something from the woman with his arm stretched out, and I heard shots fired.
So my question,
and everybody in the courtroom.
My question to you is this: when all you have to do is
go ahead.
So no, go ahead. Finish your statement. Then I'll ask. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when he started testifying, when the prosecutor was cross-examining him, that whole courtroom was looking at each other like, "Whoa, this guy's telling a whole nother." He's adding more to the story.
But even with
he
that,
did say that he saw.
Yeah, with that being said, with those facts being inserted, you've been an expert in how the court works. And you know the burden is supposed to be proven beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt. How, with him right there saying he saw someone else fire a weapon, how is there not a reasonable doubt that either him or her did it? How do they conclude that it was one shooter versus the other? How does that happen?
Well, the prosecution in their closing arguments kind of conceded that if you think Kelsey Harris did something, that's great. But guess what? She's not on trial here. Tory Lanez is on trial. And if you think he did something, that's all that matters. So you could believe that Kelsey Harris did something. But if you also believe he did something too, then that's probably one reason why they voted guilty.
So are you telling me that with the logic of the fact that we had two shooters, two GSR people, a witness saw two people fired, that is more logically a reason why we can't determine who actually struck her versus if you think he did something? I don't know if you were here when I laid out my theory about court in general. I realize I know what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about proof, but I realize in actuality, I believe it's about convincing the jury of. Do you believe that there was more proof or more convincing of the jury of his guilt?
I think it was a little bit of both, because they did present some things that were kind of hard to look. The defense did a great job at poking holes at pretty much everything the prosecution had to throw, but there was a couple things that they just couldn't deal with. And one of the things is Kelsey Harris sent a text message to Megan's security guard 5 minutes after the shooting that said, "Help! Tory just shot Meg." And there's no answer to that text.
I hate to pat myself on the back, but when it's time to be cunning and plotting, man, I don't put that beyond something that would have struck my mind to do had I been the one that fired the shot. I don't put that beyond myself.
And you know what?
Yes.
The prosecution said if you believe that Kelsey Harris is that cunning, a criminal mastermind. She said that in closing. She said, "Do you believe that she would be that cunning within 5 minutes, already setting this man up?"
So tell me this.
You certainly think it's a possibility, right?
It's extreme possibility based on my knowledge of my own cunningness. Tell me this. So who is the Fifth Amendment reserved for in these type of situations?
I mean, anyone could. The Fifth Amendment is for anybody, for everyone.
I know it's
everyone
structured,
has that right.
But you take the Fifth in order to typically not do what? You're guarding yourself against. You're guarding against what?
Self-incrimination.
Come on now. So if I have GSR on my hand, a witness said I saw a female pop the burner, and I plead the Fifth. So we can include I am trying not to incriminate myself. How is that not reasonable doubt?
Hey, I agree with you. Like I said before, I was like 70% defense, 70% not guilty. I felt there was enough reasonable doubt. I felt there, but does it go beyond a reasonable doubt? Not,
It does not. It definitely does not.
But
what about the concept of this?
What's that?
I believe it definitely does not. What about the concept of this? I heard a blogger or a lawyer actually trying to explain how it was a fair jury pool due to the fact that they went above and beyond to pick jurors who basically profess to not have any knowledge of these two individuals' career, their character, things that they've been through. So they felt like the jury was a good jury because they vetted out the individuals who seemingly had awareness of these individuals prior to this case. How do you balance that with the concept that a jury is supposed to represent your your actual peers?
Well, I think it was a bad jury for the defense because it was majority women. And early in this trial, I realized this case was divided along gender lines. There were more women I knew that would immediately say Tory's guilty, and more men that I knew that was like, nah, bro is innocent. So you got a majority female jury, so that's already in the favor of the prosecution, I felt.
And amongst the men, it was split because the men who did not like women, they were on the female side, and they're more they're more vocal, they're more visible, and they make more of an impression on the public about what might be or what needs to be. Do you think on a high profile level, the experiences of Chris Brown and Rihanna, Ray Rice and his counterpart and things of that nature played in, maybe even the OJ case? I know from being a LA native and being incarcerated at the time OJ went through his trial, I can recall from years past that all you ever heard about catching a domestic violence case in LA was, man, OJ fucked it up for that. You better not catch that.
Well, what about the role that the whole Me Too movement played? And check this out. You know that Weinstein was in a trial just a couple of floors away from this trial, and he was found guilty a few days before.
Wow. I was aware. I'm aware of another trial that was going on. I ain't going to speak on right now, but not a trial, but some proceedings. I'm going to laugh at a little. You dig a lot. But I appreciate you calling in, giving us your expertise, man, because I'm not sure if the people listening are fully aware of why your perspective matters so much. But just go look up, if you guys get a chance, Alex Alonso, Street TV, Street Gangs TV, Streets and Scholars podcast, and get familiar with the person that you're listening to. He's a business partner of mine, a longtime affiliate of mine, and he was present throughout the entirety of the trial. He covers these type of cases. A lot of times he was inside the whole Nipsey Hussle, Eric Holder situation. He was the main presence on the internet bringing us up-to-date information on that. So we appreciate him. Much love, Alex. Anything you want to end up with, I ain't going to hold you up, and I'm going to get back to some more callers.
Yeah, I just want to say that, the father and the family had an emotional outburst right after the jury walked out, but it was nothing physical. There was nothing violent. No one got arrested. Eventually, they left the courtroom and got in the elevators and went down. But it was a pretty huge disturbance. But it went pretty much, I would say, peaceful. And I don't want anyone trying to say that the father, did something violent or physical in that courtroom. He just advocated for his son like any other man that loves his son would do.
As he should. Because he obviously the voice that was there for him was not effective to bring about what we know the court is supposed to provide. I don't care how much evidence we put out right now that was presented. If we go through it, it's not enough to rule out a reasonable doubt. So I feel sorry for Tory, not for the fact that he may have done it and he got found guilty, but for the fact that the court system, I believe, failed him because it did not go the way that court is supposed to go. Appreciate you tapping in. Much love. You already know.
All right.
Right on, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Peace. Yes, sir. Alex Alonso, y'all, man, you vetted this shit right here, man. Y'all go tap in, follow everything associated. 909 area code is me, you. 424, I'm adding you. 214, you back on. 619 as well. We live, y'all.
Man, you hear what that dude said, man?
And
what the fuck, man? We are done.
We done,
look,
bro.
Man, look, mind your business. Just mind your business and stay out of trouble, man. He just said the jury was mostly women. So basically, he didn't have a snowball chance in hell, brother.
I'm telling you, his only chance was to speak for himself. His only chance was to speak for himself. Women, keep the church open. If it wasn't for the female congregation of churches, they will all be closed. The preacher has more sway over the women than he has over anybody. When you Tory Lanez and you got the suit on and you got the dress shoes with no socks, and you are an orator by nature, you became famous by having a mouthpiece. When your life is on the line, you gotta bank on your mouthpiece. You gotta bank on your mouthpiece. I think in the long run, I think that was one of his major mistakes. Like y'all say, he had too much to say. He had too much to say via social media initially. But when it came down to it, I think he bit his tongue at the wrong moment. I would have spoke for myself. I don't give a fina. I would have had to speak for me.
I wish you I wish you would have asked Alex about the gunshots, the way the gunshots came.
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't think to allow you guys to ask Alex what you would like to ask him. I tripped out.
Alex said it. He said the way that the ring camera, when they recorded the gunshots, it was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, not 5 consecutive gunshots. It's like me busting 3 times and handing the gun to Spider and say, "Here, you finish it off." Type. I mean, it didn't make no sense.
But the problem.
You know what I mean? The defense should have said something about that.
But look, the problem with that portion of the testimony is the witness said they saw, I believe, the female shoot 1 time, and then they saw Tory shoot multiple times.
But the recording of the actual shots didn't match what he said.
No. If one guy, he said if he saw one person shooting multiple times, that lends to believe Tory was the person that shot the shots that he heard in a concession. It's not. Look, just think. Remember, the singular shot was reported to come first. So if that singular shot, if that singular shot was given by one person, by her, and then he took control of the gun and did those shots that came in succession, if he says I heard shots in succession only, and then I saw that guy shooting multiple times, then that says those 5 shots were his. But even though I don't understand how they can say those shots are the ones that hit her versus the one shot. I don't know how they can determine that beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yes, that's true.
Whoever it is.
But it comes down to what everybody's saying. Like, he just got railroaded. You know what I mean? Behind this whole, the Me Too movement and, just the whole jury being more women than it was men. Like, he got railroaded, man. But like I said, I still think he got action at an appeal. I just hope he got a good enough lawyer just to bring up all the points that we bring it. If we bringing them up, I know a good lawyer going to bring up all them same points.
Yep, and even in the appeal process, in appeal process, his lawyer gonna mark all the right things, of course, because the lawyer is gonna mark up things that he's definitely gonna lose on. He's gonna appeal on grounds that he knows he's gonna lose, and everyone that is potentially possible gonna work in his favor. And what his benefit is at this point is when it gets reviewed this time, there will not be 12 members of society who don't have a clue on how a court proceeding is actually supposed to go. It's gonna be people who reviewing the case who know exactly what proof is versus convincing, and that's gonna be his benefit at that point, I believe. I don't know which one of y'all with all that feedback, man. I'm trying to figure out who got that feedback so I can eliminate it. Somebody got a lot of feedback. You know what? That's you, 214. That's you. I just found it.
Nah, that can't be me.
I
thought I was muted.
Oh, now you ain't. Okay. No, that was 619 then. That's
that can't be me.
That's 619. Nope. Is it still? Yep. Nope.
To be honest with you, I mute myself because I know where I'm at. I don't want to mess the show up.
All right.
But I agree everything. I agree with everything that you said, man. Like, and we ain't gotta look, man. Trouble's so easy to get into and so hard to get out of. I mean, my mom should be telling me that all the time. Man.
My G homie Tuna, cuz Marvin Hardy, cuz a certain day he was a G homie, but at the same time he was like a schmeenoker, right? Like he was somebody that nobody really gave no respect to. Nobody really paid Marvin Hardy much attention outside. He just always around. Everybody just disrespected Marvin Hardy. He ain't got nothing to say but some bullshit. But everybody got love for him. But don't nobody give a fuck about what Big Tuna got to say. Nobody care about what Big Tuna had to say. I tell this story often. One day, I remember being in the hood, and it was like paid in full. My life was like a movie. It was a big crowd, and it was my show. I was shining like a motherfucker. It was a beautiful day outside, bright, sunny, and I remember Big Tuna. I remember out my peripheral in the distance, I seen him take a blast. Now, Big Tuna, typically, once he take a blast, if he approach you after that, yo, natural shit is, cuz, get on, Tuna. I don't want to hear that shit. Get on, cuz. I don't want to. Whatever you on, unless I'm in the mood, I'm loaded, and we finna talk shit, I don't want to hear it, Tuna. Get on. You want some bullshit. And I watch him take a blast from way in my peripheral. And it's a gang of people out here. And then as he started approaching me from the peripheral, instead of me getting on my regular, like, cuz, get on. Look, y'all see Eastside Herb here, he laughing, he know what I mean. Oh, my mama. So, like, cuz coming from the peripheral, and instead of me just having that natural, get on, tune, I don't want to hear it. You know what? I might have even did him like that, cuz. I might have fanned him off, but this day, he know if I tell him get on, get on. But this day, he don't give a fuck. He just keep coming. He keep coming. And he gets so close to me in my face to where, look, this is my motherfucking movie. It's all this going on. I'm more tuned in to everything that's going on than anything. And cuz say this. He had just took that blast too. He was on. That nigga say, trouble. He say, it take this much to get in it. He said, it take this much to get out. He said, what you doing around here? You made it. He said, go. And Tuna, out of the multitude of the crowd out there, we all would have voted. He had the least amount of sense, intellect, awareness. He would be the last person you go to for advice, anything. And out of everybody there, not that they was on some bullshit, but he's the only person that had enough intellect, concern, awareness of my situation to tell me, hey, trouble is like this and like that. So when you said that, I just wanted to get that story in. You dig a lot?
Yeah, hey, listen, man. Motherfuckers don't get old for no reason. I don't care if they smoking or not. I never used to be street to clients ever. Because I used to, I got a bunch of stories like that because just because they made a mistake in their life, we all do that. You know what I mean? I ain't never did nothing to that magnitude at all. I ain't never did nothing right in my life.
But you know, but in those pockets of life, we all you excluding yourself. What I'm telling you is he had earned the position of being he had earned the position of being rightfully disrespected multiple times by everybody, and it wasn't wrong. To ignore him was a normal thing. As soon as he opened his mouth, especially after he take a blast, to shut him down before you could even hear what come out his mouth was a normal thing. So for me to have this memory with him is a hell of a motherfucking moment. That's all.
Let me ask you this though: do you think, and that's just real talk, do you think God could have been speaking through him?
No, there's no question that the Creator, God, the person, not the person, the energy, the entity, that definitely, no question, no quiz.
Fools and children, right? Fools and children.
Babies and God keeps his eyes on babies and fools. I pay dues on my mama. And I know I've been a fool. I know I've been a fool on multiple occasions, so I know that's true. But you know what else?
Speaking of facts though, when it get in you though.
Yep, and I gotta keep the facts because there's so many babies that go through so many traumatic experiences. It lets me know, even when we say God and all that, it's a different God than we've been taught about.
Man, say it again.
Even when we want to stick to the cliche, God keeps his eyes on, we don't mean he sees everything you go through and he just watches it. That typically means he takes care of those. And we know babies, to a large degree in this world, go through so many horrible, horrific things that sometimes I know I might be overthinking or thinking too heavy, but all that little shit don't fly with me no more. So if God does keep his eye, see, I got a problem with the word God and his. I would rather say
there you go.
I would rather say the Creator is aware of all. And then there is no protection included in that. So you don't have to look at the people who seem like they weren't protected and then question your Creator, because there's no claim of this protection for all. There's no preconceived concept of what your Creator is. And I think us as humans owe our Creator that much, because everything that we can automatically perceive or presume the Creator to be or God to be is based on what other humans have expressed. I think if we all have any type of true spiritual interest or journey, we owe it to ourselves and the Creator to erase our motherfucking hard drive of everything we've been taught and told. And then, as well as you know how, open up your spirit, soul, mind, understanding to the energy that you desire to contact in the most purest form as possible, and trust that. Fuck what somebody else said. Fuck what somebody else wrote. I don't care what they call it. Not saying fuck the Bible as far as being able to dive into that book and finding things that can feed your intellect, your spirit, your knowledge, your soul, and even perhaps your historical concept of what's taking place in this world. But do not allow anybody to tell you that is God's word, the Creator's word.
Man.
You have to be fully aware of where the manuscripts came from, the individuals who wrote them, the process of them being accumulated and compiled, the other writings that were considered for the Bible and left out, the reasons why they were left out and almost included, the things that some of those books actually state. Before you have to let your mind focus on the fact that this is God's word. It may be a book full of good things that could benefit you. And I do agree, there are a lot of things contained within the pages that can be beneficial to a thinking person. But you cannot allow someone else to think for you in regards to the book. Even the majority of the book, when they try to tell you this is God's word to you, a love letter to man. If you look at the top of the majority of the passages, it says Paul's letter to the Corinthians, Paul's letter to the Galatians. There is a lot of context. If you believe that these things were written by the people claimed, there's a lot of context as what the writings were actually, what they actually were, letters toward believers. But they would tell you in church, you would let a preacher stand up there and take 3 sentences and say, God said he would whoopty wopty wop or the wop, and then you gonna look at that or hear him and say, God told you that.
90 seconds.
Not realizing right there where he's reading from says, so-and-so wrote this to so-and-so. And we cannot, for the most part, even confirm that that is of actual reality that it took place. So you just got to put everything into perspective. Some reason us as modern humans view the days that they tell us that the Bible was actually
60 seconds.
When all these events were going on, for some reason we allow society to make us think that was a time like a cartoon time or like the Flintstones, a time that was so different, but nobody around us could actually confirm it. But we supposed to believe things happened so different back then and live our life based on it because some human beings wrote shit down on a book and then they said it's God's word. Just know that. If you're going to accept it for God's word, no. The only reason you're accepting it for God's word is because human beings declared it. And right then, any believer of the Bible that said it's God's word, when you challenge it, they're going to tell you that the Bible declares that all scripture was inspired by the Holy.
10 seconds.
But guess what? Human beings also authored that wording. Am I making any sense, y'all?
You're talking on a real elevated mindset, and if people aren't elevated to that mindset yet, it's going to be kind of difficult for them to really get where you're coming from. Like I overstand you to the fullest. You know what I mean? To the point where I tell people all the time, I really don't too much.
And I'm not shitting on the Bible. I'm not shitting on the Bible. Just think if you was on a ship and you fell overboard and somebody threw you a life raft, you could grab that life raft and get saved with it. That don't mean that God created that life raft. So the Bible may be beneficial. It's been beneficial to me and to a lot of people that I know and with their lack of knowledge. But it does not mean it's God's word. It can be a blessing and it can be a curse. So just be, that's like saying God made the gun. We know nothing happens according to what we believe about the Creator without his allowing it. So there are evils in the world. And it's a lot to say, even in the word, that God created everything. So you got to be careful what we attribute to this concept of a creator that was given to us. And we have to trust not only ourselves enough, but we have to trust the creator enough that we can eliminate every other individual's input in this experience and start from a clean slate and just reach out to the Creator and trust that the Creator, if He can keep the stars in alignment, have the animal kingdom moving in the way it desires, and everything else, we got to be able to trust that the Creator can communicate with us without us referring to any other human reference. If we're going to be at a very, you feel me? I don't care if it's written, spoken, or anything. Anytime I'm talking to you and I'm trying to get a direct understanding on how you want me to understand, if I have to refer to anyone else, either you need help or I'm getting less of an understanding than I can get. This is putting something between a direct connection, even if it's electricity. If you have a direct connection, it's more powerful than something being between you and the connection, whether it's another person, spoken word, ideas, concepts, rituals, traditions. Any of that lessens the directness of the connection. So I don't understand how a whole society and generations of people can be so convinced, because the evidence is right there in the book. All the people claiming to have these experiences with the Creator are having them direct. And then the book also says that everyone is equal and that God never changes. There's very little I need to know after that. It's okay. If I believe there's a Creator and the Creator spoke to this human being way back then about what he was going through, that's all I need to know. Now I'm going to just trust the Creator going to speak to me.
But when the energies are hitting you and elevating you and putting you in that place, and I don't want to get off the subject, but I do got to ask about this. I remember the other day when I was on the phone talking to you, the young lady that called, she was very, very emotional about having the song because she had a daughter that passed away. I got to get some feedback on this. Was you ever connect with her and all that? Because that was one of the most powerful conversations I done heard you have with somebody before, just being online and just experiencing that. So I just got to get at you about that one.
That's the homegirl now. That's Tanya Tarver. She was on the phone for the majority of the call this evening. So her story. Her story is a lot more deep than it came across, and all the prayerful energy that we can send toward her in particular, we all need to just round up and put that positive energy toward her. On my mind, it's way deeper than a little bit she shared.
As soon as she said she lost her baby, she got that from me from that day on, that point on. So she getting that regardless. So whatever else that's going, is definitely she getting that regardless, man. So I hope you able to just touch her in some type of way to kind of give her some type of positive something to think about, man, because she was truly moved by just being able to talk to you and holler at you, man. So
bro, you have
I'm
no idea.
Saluting to that one, man.
I refuse to do anything other than what's appropriate when I'm speaking on this. But if you have any idea of all the type of information she shared with me since then via text message, and she called me like today, like multiple times, right? So like, bam, I'm like in the middle of handling some business, so I'm ignoring the call, and then as soon as I finished handling the business, something just motivated me to call back. And when I called back, she was like, that's all I wanted. Like, she was having me in judgment, like, oh, you fake. Like, I got you now, you not woo-woo. So after that, cuz, on my mama, I listened to her for like 30 minutes. She did all the talking. Then I got into a position where I could not entertain her conversation anymore for the moment. I was like, hey, let me get, and she would just keep going. Matter of fact, she was rapping. She had got to rapping, and I had to hang up on her.
Wow.
And then since I hung up on her, I've received multiple texts from her since then. She has a very deep situation going on, if you can feel me. I just want to, you feel me? It's like it's a lot deeper than just what she shared that day, bro.
Yeah, I can tell just by how emotional she was, just hollering at you. You know what I mean? You could tell she was going through a lot in her life, but I just felt like her being able to talk to you was kind of bringing her a little bit of balance, or a little bit of peace at that time. That's why I was talking about, when we was talking about everything else with the universe and all that, I felt like that was one of the moments where whatever you was doing or what you was saying, you was affecting somebody's life in some type of way. You know what I mean? Man. So I had to get back at your ass how that one went.
Man, one of my themes in my life is all roads lead to Nineveh. And I don't know if I'm just victim of being raised religiously, because I'm not religious anymore. I don't subscribe to all I was taught and told. However, there are themes that I maintain in my life that I think are associated with a lot of things I was taught and brought up in, things that were prophesized about myself. And if you know the story of Jonah at all, I find a lot of similarities in myself and Jonah. And I think I've struggled, and I'm hoping, I almost am trying to make this the reality, almost out of a spoiled nature, that I hope to know that I can create my pulpit from what other than I was instructed it should be. But I believe that all roads lead to Nineveh. So even me being on this microphone, on this platform before the public on a consistent basis, I am trying to shape this into my pulpit, and I commit myself to being honest and transparent about the subjects we discuss and keeping it a Google, which means facts over feelings. So I think I am trying to find with the Creator, coming back to Nineveh and still speaking what I consider the truth, because overall the essence of the whole thing is when even it's not easy to stand on what's real and what's firm, and that's what I try to commit myself to. So when I get the idea that even though it doesn't seem like our whole program here is named after positivity, it doesn't seem like our direct goal all the time is to be spiritual. When we get those type of events like you described, I also stand humble and just realize it's more going on than what we are trying. And I'm more comfortable in that than thinking I can control the scope of supernatural spirituality. There are times in the Bible where the person that was going to speak on God's behalf was nervous. They asking God, like, man, what I'm supposed to say when I get there? You know what God told him? Don't worry about it. I give you the words when you get there. And that's how I try to see myself these days. You dig a lot?
That's right. 1,000%. And it's funny that you say that too, because same way, I grew up in all kind of different religions. I'm not religious at all. You know what I mean? I believe in spirituality and energies in the universe. You know what I mean? I just believe that's just how it goes. And I don't get into breaking stuff down about the Bible and this, that, and that. And I know it. I just believe something different. I believe it even get bigger than that. And then certain people just have that about themselves that they're able to just really communicate that type of information. You know what I mean? And then when you communicate that type of information and a person just feels your energy, it just is what it is, man. And then, like I say, I always say, I see a bigger picture for you as far as what you be doing. And I think that I look at it in a way of just leadership as far as us as a people, you know what I mean? And help elevating our minds and stuff. If you say so much stuff when it comes to us that's educational, if people really listen to it, they're going to get a bar of some real good information that they can take with them and use. You know what I mean? All through all the other little BS and stuff that we be talking about, but every once in a while, and I'm going to say more times than often, you drop some jewels up in there. You know what I mean? If they really listen, they can really benefit from that.
I appreciate
just giving up game.
I appreciate that. That's just me
that
being...
comes from that right there. That comes from experience, man. You know what I mean? Like I say, you get old being no dummy. Not that these youngsters don't understand that. A lot of these youngsters, and not all of them, you know what I mean?
Hold on. I was in T-Mobile today on behalf of my youngest son. And when I was handling my business, the female that was helping me was 28 years old. And she said, well, I saw your ID, and that means that you have to be 46 or 47. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be 47 next month. And I say, oh, man. She said, nah, you ain't old. You're slowly getting there. She said, 55 and up. So watch out with that old word, my nigga. I'm still getting there.
Hey, you ain't never a year older than me.
And we blessed. I'm just fucking with you.
We go through the same thing, Father.
Yes. And then if you just, me personally, I'm gonna do this. You ain't gotta chime in, because it's a pause world. But I am grateful for the amount of youth that I have been allowed to apparently preserve by the Creator. Because I have so many peers that are a lot younger than me that appear to be my big homie just by when you look at them. So I'm just grateful that, whatever amount of youth that I was able to preserve without even attempting, I look at that as a blessing as well. I ain't in no hurry, but I'm not trying to slow the process down. I'm enjoying it all.
Yeah, but you done gained a lot along the way, and you at all. So that's the thing. Longer we hear, the more wisdom we gain. each one teach one, right?
Indeed, on my mama. We got to the time where we gonna go
What's
last
up?
words, right? So look, I don't know who is first or last on here, but I can tell y'all this: 619. I'm gonna let you go first, then 214, then I'm gonna let the 424 go. Then it's gonna be 909, and then it's gonna be 818, and me and Creep the Crip, we gonna do it on our own at the end. But 619 area code. Last words on you.
Man, you know this tone calling again from Dago by way of Atlanta now. I'm living in Atlanta now, but you know, it's always the same with me, man. It's just that good positive energy that's put out there. And even though we was talking about the whole little situation with the Tory Lanez and the Megan Thee Stallion, you was giving up some game and giving up some information that somebody can really, really learn about as far as just where you want to lead your life and conduct yourself. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. Just giving up that game, giving up that knowledge, passing that wisdom on to somebody that might be like, man, I remember SBI said this about this situation. So if I ever get in that type of situation, I need to move like this instead of moving like that. And that's just helping to elevate somebody that's a little bit younger that might not have that same knowledge or same wisdom, but you just planted that seed right there, man. And every time, you know, regardless of whatever we be talking about on there, it's always a seed being planted, man. And I always take note of that and catch that, man. So just keep on doing what we're doing, man. And I'm going to keep on calling and supporting it.
Appreciate you, Dago Tone, on my mama.
All the time. Be safe out there.
Likewise. It's on you, my folks from the 214.
Man, SBI, man. I'm gonna cut it short, man, because I'm about to hop on this plane, right? But all I can say is,
Sweet.
You know,
Highly
all
sweet.
I just yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. I just realized who you
Can you
was.
hear
Yeah, I just realized who you was.
Yeah.
Shouting you out. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, listen, man. From what I heard from your boy Alonso, man. Man, and your boy Blue Jay. If we don't wake up and realize we all we got, there will be no more of us. You know what I'm saying? And we got so many enemies that we don't even consider enemies that actually are really enemies, man. And we gotta start recognizing that all we got is each other as black people and as black men. You know what I mean? And so that's all I really got to say about the whole situation, because, you know, man, we are in a war that we can't really fight because we fight each other. It's like you know, us going to war with somebody else, with another side, but our side ain't all the way together. We already lost before we even got to the battlefield. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying, man. Everybody realize what you're working with, what you're dealing with, and the most important thing to me, besides that, is you got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Remember that, because they're not lying to you. And it always come up in court. Shut your mouth. That's all I can say. Shut your mouth, man. You know what I mean? Good looking Spider, man. Hey, Merry Christmas to y'all. Y'all stay up, man.
Right on, Pete. On my mama. That's the homie Sweets from Hollywood, Pyro, Eastside Compton. 424, it's on you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, last word is telling y'all, as blacks, we got to get back together, man. Because we see how the black women, even the prostitutes trying to talk down on black men.
Whoa.
The rapper chicks, they white folks, they even look for the white boys and the police on them niggas beating them down.
And just know, the white man in his system is always gonna have a fetish toward the black woman and wouldn't mind eliminating the black man in the process.
Money, folks.
Whoa, that's deep. But you know, look, I used to go to First Kings, King Edward, young nigga, Barbie Coast. You know that's the ghettoest shit out here. You will always find an old white nigga who don't look like he belong in there spending big on them black females, bro. That's the system. Yeah. What better is if you have a culture of a fetishizing over a certain group of women? What's more effective? You can eliminate the men around there that they may be attracted to.
Because it's like this. it's like this with the black women. They know the white man got the jobs for them, and us black men, all we doing is, we trying, but at the same time, because when you dealing with this job market, because I done been, promoter over women, over black women, and it's like, it's a money thing. They tell them, like, don't deal with, because I sit in them rooms with them black girls, and they tell them, don't date us because they ain't going to get the right money and all this.
Look,
they don't want
look, it's crazy. You look in the game on the blade with the P's and the hoes. Even if you're a black pimp, you gonna tell your hoes not to deal with no black tricks. If a nigga ain't like a senior citizen, even black pimps tell they hoes to avoid black tricks based on personality traits and characteristics. So it's deep, bro.
Some pimps like that, but some pimps are telling them. Like real niggas, they be like anybody. They don't want to hear all that.
No. Listen, you missing the point. I'm talking about when you sit her down to get everything she can get from the tricks that's pulling up. She finna turn down anything that's looking black and young, bro. Cause these are the reasons. These are the reasons that's floating around in the game. You know the stereotype about size. And then they're saying that the black tricks is finna get in there loaded and use that big old thing to be trying to run up in your broad as long as he can, holding it and trying to get her sprung. Or he gonna be a fake pimp in there trying to gangster and take your broad. When it comes to the other races, they trust that they come in there to spend a few dollars with not such an imposing size member, and they just want to hurry up, get it done, and get on. But the young blacks have a whole different reputation. The pimps is scared of the young blacks because they feel like when you set your female down, she could go through 3 other tricks in the amount of time a black nigga gonna try to keep her in the room. He finna try to get in there and nail the punani.
Yeah, it's like that, but a lot of cats, they be like, yeah, go on and let the little nigga, because he gonna watch your back. These white fools finna put you on the blade, finna take you somewhere, cut you up for the money, cause I be out there, my people live on figs. So the white niggas, all they doing over there is jacking the black chicks, socking them out, got them like stashed, and if they look,
look. Tell you something. Ain't no white boys getting away with none of that on Fig. I don't know. You say your people stay on Fig. I be on Fig.
They Mexicans. I look at them all like anything that I look at them all as white boys. You feel me? Like if they can tell me they're Mexican, Puerto Rican, Colombian, you a white boy. In my eyes, I look at them like all white boys. I ain't finna give no cut. I ain't finna separate them. I ain't finna be that black brown. It's cool. You feel me? But they all the same color, and they all trying to manipulate a black woman and take everything. Because if they had any respect for me or you, they wouldn't even try to date them. You feel me? So it's like that's why so much racial tension. So if we date a white chick, then they want to trip out.
Look. I think you kind of missed the scope of what the conversation was. I'm not talking about dating in general, but this was last words, and you getting kind of wordy. So I'm gonna just sum it up. I appreciate you tapping in.
I'm gonna get the last word.
Yep. Come on with it.
Okay, the last word is this. What's up?
No, go ahead.
Okay, the last word. I'm just saying we gotta get back together, and black women and black men gotta let all that go, because the police are already against us all, and the court system is gonna do us like they trying to do Tory Lanez. They trying to strike this black man out, take his. Plus you out there with them rich white. You trying to be hood, trying to show out, thinking they gonna feel you, thinking everybody gonna be down with you. It's not gonna happen, black man. It's not gonna happen. You better take some of that money and build some more black artists. Like you see how like cats like Gucci, they got big camps.
Hey, look.
You gotta build a big camp.
I appreciate your call. Before I go to the next caller, Look, I seen Cuz had two niggas outside the courtroom looking like they wanted to cry. And then the blogger ran up to him and was like, "What y'all think?" And she was like saying she agree with the verdict. She thinks he did it, but she don't think they actually proved it. And then they was looking depressed, and it was three of them, and the one of them that was willing to speak spoke about the other two and was like, "Man, Tory Lanez just signed them. This shit bigger than TV for them." So he talking about sign somebody and all that, bro. That would be wishful thinking. But area code, what's this, 309? It's on you, man. Last words. Or is that
309 or 909?
909, my bad. I'm blind.
All right, Spider. All right, that's what's up. Thanks, SBI, for the platform. I just want to say, man, my pops is from Alabama. He old school, and he always told me, don't lose your head over a piece of tail. And I think this is just a classic case of that. And while y'all was talking and doing all that, I was doing my Googles. And Tory Lanez owns all his masters, owns all his music and his publishing. And when you independent at that age where you still in your prime, because you know how that music game go, where they feel like they can still make money on you, you are a target. So you got to move a certain way and do stuff a certain way. We learned whether you agree with Kanye or don't agree with Kanye. You've seen what Kyrie been doing. When a black man stands on his own too and is ready to speak truth to power, you got to be able to pivot and not want them handouts from them folks. So at the end of the day, he didn't play the game right, but I don't expect that from a dude that ain't got that street logic. He from Canada, so I'm not gonna put that Cali logic on him. But this the new era. So all the OGs and everybody that's been in the game and all that, we just got to keep spreading the info to the youngsters and just hoping it translates. Because if not, we just sending them in that pipeline.
That's deep that you even inserted the information about him owning his masters. And him being a target, as much as people were like, I know how much of that could have mattered, because I know he did not get proven guilty in court. So that's deep. They don't tell him who put the call in. Just know this.
That's all I'm saying. SBI, she got Rock Nation backing her and all that, and you already know what it is. You've been on that level. You've been in that playing field where a dude is in his prime and he can make these companies a lot of money. It's like being in the NBA when you in your prime. That's like he basically like LeBron when he left Cleveland the first time and he go play for the Big Three. Right. So when you independent and you still got that sway over people and all that, they want to see you fail. And he got caught up, messing with these bras. She got caught up. The moment was bigger than she could handle. I think if everybody would have shut up, it just would have went away and they could have just agreed not to be friends and everybody just don't fuck with each other. But this shit just got messy, and this is just the new era we living in with social media and all this shit. And this is how these kids play, man. I'm a grown-ass man. This shit is just foolish. I think, honestly, everybody needs to do like 3 months just for being stupid.
Yeah, and her lying to the police and talking about blaming it on George Floyd, then lying to Gayle King, saying she ain't cuz. I think that should have been enough to put reasonable doubt on top of the fact that there was a female on the scene that had GSR, and she chose to plead the fifth in order to not potentially incriminate herself. All that is classified as reasonable doubt. So the railroad was in full effect. Appreciate you tapping in. Don't let this be your last time, loved one.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro.
Likewise. Yep. All right, 818. It's on you. Last words.
Last words. Your player partner. Spider Low, what's happening?
You already know, man. I appreciate your patience, man. We trying to wrap it up, so please help me do so, man. We don't want to get too ceremonial.
Yeah, it's gonna be real short. Spider Low, me, positive, productive, progression. You know what we doing, and it's all about this, Spider Low. Man, I've been just like kind of like you know me, Spider Low. Being me like about 5 years 5 years older than the one and only Spider Low. Mm-hmm. But because you around my brother's age, of course, rest in peace, Tiny Yacht. Mm-hmm. So if he was alive, my brother was alive, you around his age group, age area. Mm-hmm. So what I'm gonna leave you with, what we're gonna do on Last Words, Spider Loc, is brother. I've seen so much, and then I have a real colleague that I work with that's beside me every day, Spider Loc. It's all about, man, like you said, it's all about our togetherness. But Spider Loc, if we don't have no type of love for our brother, Spider Loc, you are my brother's keeper. If I'm your brother, Spider Loc, if I'm committed to you, me as a brother, I'm locked in with you. I deal with your thing. I deal with you on a regular. We may speak, or we communicate on a certain level. Yes, you are your brother's keeper.
You know what?
And it's all about
deeper than love. I think
about hope and belief.
I think deeper than
Hope
loving
and
one
belief.
another. I think that love word, which is so abstract, which has no definition, which no one has ever held in their hands. I think if we looking for that fake concept of love to be the adhesive to make it work, we're gonna forever be lost. I think we have to think in a survival mode and realize that we need one another to survive, and not just us and our current being, but us as a group for the future. We have to have some type of concern for something outside of our own existence, and the connection we have to those that came before us and those that are to come after us. And then we have to apply ourselves to the situation according to survival and success for the better cause of everyone involved. That lack of self,
no doubt.
That's what we have to, because this idea, you're excused for that burp, but for this idea of thinking all of a sudden we're going to fall in love with each other as a culture is a fake idea. I don't even believe the cultures that we would like to mimic their unity have that much love for each other. I think it's a natural, innate idea.
It has to be genuine, Spider Loc.
And guess what? What I'm saying is, I think it has been systematically programmed out of us as a community, and I think our success is going to only be realized when us as a community take the power back to realize it amongst ourselves, because we are in another person's system, and we are subject to what we have experienced through what they've designated and designed. And that's not blaming anyone, but that's just realizing our cause and condition, and also at the same time realizing it's on us to correct it. That's all I'm saying. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Much love. Creep the Crip, man. It's on you, Loco. Creep.
All right, I'm gonna keep it real short, man. I want to thank everybody for tapping in tonight, man. Everybody that's in the chat. You know, I send mine to all y'all, man. Continue to tap in, continue to push that like button. And everybody that's listening and everybody that's gonna hear this, man, I want y'all to understand that they use these dudes to make them out as an example. And y'all got to peep game on what's going on, man, because the system is not designed to free you. Once they get you, they got you, and they don't have a problem of sitting you down and making you watch life through pictures.
I know.
That's what it gets all boiled down to.
I know his voice sounds like mystic and mysterious and even spooky, and it might sound like he's just talking, but that's coming from a testimony of a person who has been incarcerated since what year?
1995.
And we was incarcerated together in 1995, man. Much love, man. Appreciate you, Creep the Crip. You already know at all costs, Brody.
Much love always, bro. Hey, man. ENT, for life. Google gang.
Beautiful nightmares. On my mama, y'all, please take the testimony that y'all hear. It's not somebody trying to brag or boast about what they've been involved in. Realize that there are some people, regardless of what they've been through, even if I have developed a lot of my whatever I consider accolades or respect on some bullshit, I don't promote it. I don't suggest anybody become involved in anything that I claim to have been involved in that was illegal, non-productive, negative, criminal. gang associated. Anytime I share any of this information associated with myself, it is not to promote. It is to demote, the exact opposite. So please understand it about me. Trust me as I try to be more precise with the message. And even if it just so happens that through my experiences in life, I committed myself to the lifestyle for so long, a lot of my challenges come within the parameters of that lifestyle. So just like I don't believe that the Bible is the word of God, and I can still grab life lessons from that book or from that collection of writings, I can also look at my past and realize it wasn't the perfect path, but I learned a lot. You learn a lot by making mistakes. A lot would say you learn more by making mistakes than you do by hitting the nail on the head. So with that being said, then my last words. Much love, y'all, on my mama.
This is my Don declaration, define expectations, inspired to aspire to higher elevation. Started at Genesis, read the entire Revelation, dedication, meditation, and some fire medication. Judge a prophet and a poet, both body reputation, fanatically practice. Perfection requires preparation. I go hard, like this could be the last chance. Romance the spotlight, treat it like the last dance. May I remind inclined to go overboard over mine, but tonight I'm on this open mic with an open mind. Always try, let it fly, ain't care where it fell. Never say goodbye, but we'll tell her farewell. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. And just so y'all know for sure that I'm serious, y'all can put this right before the period. She slid the digits, I hit her with a digi-card. She came to visit, hit it hard by the mini bar. I made her roar like the engine in my Hemi car. Way before she came to listen to my seminar. Every time I'm done, she always want more. Keep a contour in her back for the encore. I paint a picture like we was playing Pictionary with perfect diction. I take you through the dictionary, y'all can have an introduction and an intermission. They finna listen for it's finished, just a benediction. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I used to tell my testimony to the whole church. Now I stepped into the cipher once I soul search. Visualize the pain I'm bearing when it's verbalized. No more rehearsal, now you're staring in my herbal eyes. Turned them on, they all turned around, returned to lies. Despise this truth that I eternally internalized. I hate her, laugh now, cry later. Why hate a player when I'm just getting my paper? Your dialogue, that's a lot of lies to digest. Until I die, I guess I'ma have to digress. Chase the pay like she the one that got away. Remy shot a day, that's all I really gotta say. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. It's just that when I smoke, I think. And I'm always smoking. What if I was born white instead of black? Would Caucasian still talk shit behind my back. Would I jack, pack a pistol, or ever sell crack? Attack an enemy, or walk laps around the track? How would I act if one time cut me extra slack? Would I still blow my dough or be disciplined and stack? I wonder, what type of roof would I live under? My moms and pops together or my family asunder? Most likely, be close to the ones that's most like me. Spiky flat tops that dislike Spike Lee. The fact of the matter, the blacker the batter. The fatter the penis with that yak in the bladder. Would I be humble or still wild and ready to rumble? Crumble chronic and guzzle yak till I stumble. If an if was a fifth, I could knock it down swift. And that ain't an if or a myth. But what if? What if? What if Pops would've never copped that house for sale, and instead bought one with a Damu's dwell? I can tell, I just know myself too well. I be still banged out, giving keyways hell. When I fail with the big homies coming post bail, and Michelle, will she still be in the Norvell or my mail? Would I still prevail in them shootouts and love to smell the discharged shells? I bet I'd still be a ride on the set, squabbing, can't stand to see the homies on the wet. Whacked out, looped up so much he black out. Would I ride in a county jail ride or tracked out? Hit the blood module or walk the main line? Claim mine with tattoos, throwing up gang signs. What if Pac would've never fell in love with a Glock? Would we still had these thugs that bang from no block? What if? What if Eve would've never been deceived? Would we still rob and kill, fornicate and thieve? I believe it'd be perfect with no purpose to grieve. Some say that I'm a dreamer and a little bit naive. What if I didn't have such a gorgeous gift? Would I have to lift boxes on the graveyard shift? Would the war be so wicked with war? Would niggas get to hang that couldn't kick it before? Would Bin Laden had a been rotten? Still hot and plotting, Armageddon on this modern day sodden? Not in a million years could we predict the pleasure. If a man didn't think with his dick, perhaps we'd be living in a world without straps, claps and kidnaps, no gangster raps. And that's the only thing that make me think twice about if being switched, cause I do it so nice. What if? She got to generate dollars, I ain't tryna penetrate. The dinner date was just to get her on the interstate. The britches is khakis, and the kicks chucks. Beat a nigga to death with my fist like big flux. Fuck the chump change, trying to see the big bucks. Bentleys and Porsches and super sport pickups. The flow take your breath away like a hiccup. Trick up my sleeve that'll make her eat a dick up. Beware of staff, trying to paraphrase the paragraph. Got a vocab your ass I never have. Laugh at the thought of a confrontation. I'm concerned, I know you all conversation. Your life is collateral, fucking with an animal. Bad as old Hannibal, machine gun compatible. Fetish for this feuding. I'm fanatical, grammatical, gorilla, east side radical. It's highly unlikely that there will ever be another one like me. None of them like me. It's likely because ain't none of them like me. It's highly unlikely that there will ever be another one like me. None of them like me. It's likely because ain't none of them like me. The new arrivals ought to know it's suicidal to challenge my homicidal mind to the title. The dough is vital, it's almost my idol. Survival got it hard to make time for the Bible. My idle mind designed my recital. I downed the whole bottle trying to find my revival. Institutionalized, can't hide that I tries. They can see the truth in my eyes. Hope to see the homie little group in the skies. Despise when anything beautiful dies. Ain't supposed to speak on what you don't know. I'm on the low, so I couldn't show for the funeral. Size that, let the dead bury the dead. I carry the lid in the bank and bury the bread. So on Judgment Day when they read my deeds, it'll read I bleed if it'll feed my seed. It's highly unlikely that there will ever be another one like me. None of them like me. It's likely because ain't none of them like me. It's highly unlikely that there will ever be another one like me. None of them like me. It's likely because ain't none of them like me. I'm that nigga they love not to like. Me coming in this shit, it's like these niggas licking the dice game with counterfeit money, and me showing up with a pocket full of real, and the squares get up. You feel me? They don't like me. Don't expect them to like me. I know they don't like me. I give a fuck, they hoes don't like me. Paint the picture across the track vividly. They see my fist ball and fall back timidly. Finger paint the picture across the track vividly. They see my fist ball and fall back timidly. Finger paint the picture across the track vividly. They see my fist ball and fall back timidly. Furthermore, I'm with all activity. 32 shots, shoot them all at enemies. Lil Young Sel got all that energy. On top of that, he drank all that Hennessy. Popped a triple stack, he rolling on one. I know cuz down the road and go on one. I need a driver so I can blast mine. He wanna dump, but I drove last time. Fuck it, we can park and both jump out. Come on, let's smash cuz it's almost dark. In my heart, I know gangbanging played out, but I just love to see something laid out. I can't say when it's gonna cease. SP ain't the only menace on the streets.
And many times I almost had, but that don't mean I'm not gonna be like me. I might lose my life in the streets, grow up to see 93, but the future remains to see. No, a strong heart for a strong
yeah. Once upon a time, I used to be broke. My life got better. Started selling coke without the coal. I look good in a Rover. You were just a doja. Me, I'm a soldier. High and drunk doing donuts in the Corvette. Yellow diamonds, ankle socks, Nike Cortez. Low gasoline, I'm propane. Strike a match, watch us blow up the whole game. They stressed out, losing their hair like common sense. Not too bright, must ain't got no common sense. These ain't tattoos, baby, they're artwork. The way he took that gun apart, believe me, was a work of art. Mafia mansion, coke in the money. Beehive on the arm, bezel sweeter than honey. Big guns in the crib, the size of a love seat. Might as well jump in the fire, cause I love heat.
And many times I almost had, but that don't mean I'm not gonna be like me. I might lose my life in the streets, grow up to see 93, but the future remains to see. Just know a strong heart from a strong
The baby rider, just trying to see all he can see. Got big homies, but the tiny lokes call me a G. Hit too many big licks for the bricks to budget. If it ain't Baymack, quick to switch the subject. I'll let her hit the switch, she claim that's fun. But if we get pulled over, she gotta claim that gun. That shouldn't be shit if she halfway care. I got 2 strikes, that's more than halfway there.
And many times I almost had, but that don't mean I'm not gonna be like me. I might lose my
Rip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my
continue.
competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.